CareFinder is a real estate company that focuses on property development within the Gambia. We pride ourselves with providing not just quality and durable houses, but also state-of-the-art designs tailored to our clients' tastes and expectations. Our unique experience and expertise is second to none in the industry. We are currently building and selling 3-bedroom bungalows at Sukuta Traffic Lights and Jabang. We're also building and selling 3-bedroom story buildings at Sukuta Paradise. Other sites are also in the pipeline. With CareFinder, payment options are available. With just 40% deposit, you can get your house started. For more information, contact us on 329-5188, 727-0049, 709-8418. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at CareFinder. With CareFinder, you are assured of a secure investment.
Nyatimbu ntemu APS leti. Ndemu APS leti. APS Gambia lemu APS ti. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyatimbu ete kufuri mbala kentala ni. Ke nyatimbu ntali taba futu wola. At least ya fonte ko APS min kullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyatimbu. Yo min fo enta sija. Ntanga moyro ko APS wallet isa ko do kinu. Min tata fa wuli muang ime charge fenna wala nta sindi ja
ako natimbo nkoy ko kabo transito kata wala fa wuli muang ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele sal ike tam ike charge mun fa abuka fensi 1% da malam ngati
wota yara gamen no be nyanta wala kana APS wala tele mobile ko ko do ki ibadi ngol
yaje ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari min kum mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat ni suto be during suto be dibinin abe tema biti ko sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek ha ni oto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas power isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
wata mbaden gameno albesito wulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela lambaylo kon APS wallet nyaako doro barin koto nim fata do so kon to
dañu be fono le mol ñala jam nim fata do so kon mbafale
basiti jembita ndo register jede kadu sa APS 100% namuti
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.
Assalamu alaikum badingol ngali konton kale bismillah ko reke momo be kirfaatu jube kan alla di grand bantaba programme motanale ne ko reke min kanale arjuma ni wato sitam ba fulale ko ra barka baki al kanyum programme no ma nyamen al kananyira ko CareFinder ani APS ito le nyim programme fasa ka sembenti andike blodo nyim programme ko to alta APS wallet download science and tenting alia use alla kaspa wal sa sanno jele balal secret ko sanno jele charges mantara je eba kelale free of charge hanatara suto dutala natara APS app be bulo isi sandiro keno jele bari promotion e bole ke kan science and technique clear no kuto nati APS ay kodo kinang min tambita wuli sabala kata way santola drong 1500 be wole dide la clear mi alon ko yadi APS la woto isi kodo kino even within Gambia jang mol mi alon ko be base ila badingol milbije anim badi bu kiang isi kodo kino through APS la woto mobe aleta sign APS la wallet mi alonko alsa download no ker find ka korda wafo le ke Gambia banko kanjang itolle mi nyontangol tinina ta korda wafo to Gambia jamol ma nyoso so wala na mo jamalu kata jele pour ka korda sang kene ken sengol be bulle mi alonko ika wafi na lafta la bari korda lorim bandingol fanam be bulle bari natra ite fango keno be bulle lafta ka lo ka loro fanan kalenne al be bori aleta ker find pour alla korda ku problemol ye bang science entente odo mutana le ne ko ke aning arjuma ko tan aning anoda grand bantaba nene welcome
jërëjëf bu baax di la gërëm di la sant rek di wax ñëpp ñu ñuy seetaan
yaay faal you look good
dama la faale
you know
dama la faale
yeah
suma designer bi mooy suma xarit xool bi
ay su mooy sa designer bi te mu ngi si noppi nag yaa designer
ay yoo xam ngeen MC moom anyways di leen dalal yéen ñëpp di leen nuyu di wax ñëpp ñu ñuy seetaan juma mubarak di leen wax asalaamaaleykum wa rahmatulahi taala wa barakaatu di leen ñaanal juma bu sell juma bu naat bu ànd ak jàmm ak yiw di leen gërëm rek am kontaan te again suma xarit xool bi tey ñëw na na moom ahankay waaw moom su ko bara yónnee sax su ma ko koolee rek mu ne ma kana woori mbenaa la mbenaa la so boobu affaire la suma broda bi nag moom Bojang Ba suma nijaay bi waa Fodje bi nuyu naa la and welcome back after a long time
Kaboom
Academy exactly Kaboom Academy exactly welcome back after a long time di gërëm ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk ci wàlli machine bi jël nuyoo bi rek teg ko ci loxo Charles mu seddale ko ñëpp di nuyu Fatou Momit borom kër gi di ko wax ne yàlla na jàmmam yàgg fanam di saawaan di baawaan rek di kontaan rek and di dalal suñ gan bi beneen yoon koo xam ne turam Boubacar fo ñaameen atoma mabo you know Gambia la ko yeah atoma mabo yeah na nata justice fanna you know human rights defender and accountability and transparency you know ateletam wo exactly ni lafta do ni lafta fenna do ni atoma do yalon ko kolbe sonia mba fale ko bismillah ko tenke ñu programme moto ñu dugg ci programme bi tay nak mom ahankay sanse bi tay yaay falla yaay falla sanse bi fancy la ko jakkal
waaw bi mom yes fancy dañ ci kontaan bu baax because it's very nice very nice thank you Talibo
yes buba abaraka bake jibir lal fana mba fulale ko wala bismillah juma do fanana mbe duwala fola simmabe juma jama la mbe molu konto na men kan jibe ani men yalon koy kana walim programme ol nyinito ani tel men kasi programme o nyin kono be molu konto na technicien olu comme ya fo nyamen Charles nana bala molu be konto na kal tento kal jayi bake mba fulale ko wala bismillah programme o bi konto ndrote mela namo na mo bi o ken kay biya ke tam bay falol malo fo koto la beñi mbay fal yalla bang fo du real mbay falol men be Touba Mbacké fo lo malo
next week beñi mbay fal pare mba kacha
special kacha fo nga ñing kacha dro be MC kontona Mr Bojam fana naro kote ke ba kontona na ñan ciobe birikama e kansulo men ka tare motolu kunna transportation
to jendiro bula
ma ko dina
to jendiro bula
apa ko birkama garaso be wurganne de ko man garas kendo so
no nalo atani MC mbine samona na de la lafta kallo ne ye munike bring you know yeke kansulo
ya na lu ndamba fana
samimbe
bina to fula jaw abdu be fana kontonna ala wato men soto kana na jang kana kacha
thank you so much
baraka ba
MC
jërëjëf Bouba ñu la gërëm di la sant bu baax
thank you
di nuyu suñu yaay faal bi
waaw
bu nga xam ne tey moom benn la tey kon nag dig naa gis solo bi trop si sa ñettaami maagali Touba lañ ko dee gis waaw nga maagal tam mu ngi jege si fu mu nekk nii xam naa ne moom moo nu yóbbu maagal dis na waaw so ñu ngi ko nuyu tam bu baax si taxawaayam tam si bugg a réewam di nuyu tam Talibo mu nga xam ne moom daf dee sonal suma boy bi trop
ko dee sonal de
waaw moom mbiri baay ak Talibo ñoom ñaar moom fu gaa di gisee ñoom ñaar waaw so ñu ngi ko nuyu bu baax tam taalibo si taxawaayam tam mbir yi moom liggéey réew moom kenn ku nekk mun ngaa nekk fi kii nekk fi so adami di programme si jeexee ñoo de toog fi di waxtaan naan ataaya kafre kon loolu moo yóbbu réew si kanam di nuyu itam Bojang Ba bu nga xam ne moom tam suñ xarit la nit ku baax la tam ko xarañ la tam jég naa ñëw tam wax dëgg yàlla tam namoon nañ ko trop si programme bi fii kon ñu ngi ko welcome bu baax si këram boo kër Fatou moom kër la waaw kër yi ñëpp la waaw amul xaaj kii fii la bokk fii ñëpp kër yi ñëpp la ni ngay nuyu ñëpp di la wax ne asalaamaaleykum.
Thank you so much Mr. Bojang.
Thank you. Yeah, I know, right? Thanks. It's really a family. Memolwe Kontuna. My own parents and everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Atol Fanang, everybody.
Yeah.
We hope to have a great show and continue to have a lot of great shows.
Okay.
You know, Alabe, you know, Atol be Alabaka, you know. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, well, Mr. Bojanti, mean bio kara wolem Kamfati creation di. Also commandino on 523-4379, 523-4379, 523-4379. Also in numbers on WhatsApp. I karalo no bakele natural we gambe bandala sia karano akiale. I karalo no bakele. Kabring kasay nying karalo approve bro. Nata longo karalo nyinya badale. Ning kasay na karal approve ngalo no nyaadale. So ngal be tendu kal jeba ke meduna programme to wole fe ngamin soro bi ko nene ya fo nyame mole nyalo nga to mabo ni nata ka molla nyantol la ko kele Gambia banko kan jang minkera of course Madi Jobarteh andu mole nyalo ko alonta bakele Gambia jang. Madi, welcome to the Grand Bantaba again.
Thank you. I think, I don't know, Sinyom Fulan Jaunty Bam for.
You know, someone young.
Okay.
You know, someone young.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm content to Katarijang. I'll be a content. And Jiber Lalbe. Bojaya Fanyama, I hope we catch a Lima Nadal.
Yeah.
Bangola Court.
Yeah. All right, left nga follow dameng kunung first bajo not kunung, it was on the Tuesday first bajo tatale kara Spain kabo Gambia banko kanjam funding ke tan sabani kononto wolle botajang masakunda mil bondi pour kara Spain banko kan mune wila reaction oti nyin dilo Spain ning Gambia tema funding ke tatale finally.
Yeah, well, you know, ko funti follow ke ndenga ko bayle yalo buban sometimes akaloka wareka munda ko coming from man, you know, kama mandingolo ka fo me falla manken nen roti sometimes but coming come for long in a way ko nyimbanko naflo bijande you know alliance so comme a banque dol beso nyameng me natural resources above all I haramani ul dinale comme tanite tel mebe be sirinjang and the rest of the population me alon ko karantale you know enough most of them me alon ko karantale lo ndo soto yiruwa nyanta kala nyama nyanta tala nyame ya lonne and so nyaje mbe gambe jam pro nga nying gambe yiruwa and so nikume mena wonya kana si ka jiko na masa kunda ka banku deon sa ko fondin kel bondi ko samba la doto kata sama dola je atin malom molka ko mira nyame o masa kunda faaje nyame bari ndamero masi bolti ha nga muta ko nyim banko abe lari nyame from Banjul kata fu basse abebe flatrinde ko mi man concours soton
nga kenol soto le mil sida
kenol sida bar kenol al halu amanke coming concours le bijang ko mi berol le bedula to man ko samata sama do ko de kenol and in fact ndavla sama do ko because do ko ala badina jio me alon ko ba banko far flat tema kaf me underground water nga soton ka sama soton so na do ko bankola do ko funds men ni nata sanola karola amanyana denna samala fan so wobi jang londo coming senola karoto a londo bijanne amol na banko deon ka sawar ka pare ka dogo ke abijanne so that ni kumembe wonya nga faham nyim banko ay men soton an nyanta menkela e baya ko different situation do fombe sila nzafo ko banko deon be bondila gambe jangi sama lado to kata senola sako dum wati la mealon ko ndel faun la sene faun mantel faun si yaji hanin say fo mano lombang fo jabo lombang fo pompitero lombang yaji fo carrot lombang nga fen jamale import na nga mendo ku jang ida am kasi wala quality ma better yaji and so on so ni ku membe wonya menyande kala mirote kaji ko ni kurmel be banko ala so menna na london na karan london mendina ferol meldina mo kala nyaadi le fo nga seno do ke janyala me alon ko fan isa fo fan gambe be sulala mo la pour na ka funka because mbajala ko men juta membe la pour kadun seno ko na adasatale yaje so ndamero jernya si fa nyanta tala wolto yaje dan kasi ko ha nga mol bondi jang ko because do ko le mansoton jang o foire yale warta jang warante ferol le mansoton o opportunities le mansoton so why me mol bon la jambe sambala banku do o ko banku do le sulata do kula la so boton tira nganna do kula sambol ya
nga dila yeah because ne permanent secretary la moy kuno nga fole ko ikara fruits tambon la is obviously ikara wala ikara famine la andu nyimu kulti mi alon ka imama bo funding kella mi alon ko le bidaka but now the thing is yes nga ni lansol sorole do we only blame the government because ibe nyil samba kan o funding kel fanang nyanta blame la because you said ko nga ni lansoro janne santol to bijele senosi kienole but they are not doing it. Do you think it's government's fault or funding kel fole mampare do wala di lafta pour kara Europe?
No, government na fault lam me alon ko since independence you see for more government faham munam government yeah government sila be domoro di la molla for example or government sila bundalo coming like television or thing all right government la do comment ka have me opportunity ka create lualto bundalto ferolto because hanamadun community mole la mirror sotone mole la nor cool sotone high skills mole naflo sotone but nibe in a society coming Gambia coming any political entity tanin na coming ka cool topoto ibuka si do yake fa ita si la do television o yele fa for example all right o eta e bidiko yele fa o eta e moto se fa do be luwal ya be I mean penke be sansan yaje and wo kololom yiriwa ka soto wolto so that ni ye government soto in any society coming Gambia nga keno soto juma nyanta nyin keno dokula anyanta dokula nyaadile nga josoto moment de se adre ko ngata ngabo holo sing even abe kanjam ba luwal bi jele mewul be sansan moment de se adre ko ngata jobi bato ngata bon irrigation ke luwal bi jele yaji but fanan mono lafta senola fa fero babul le ban fa naflo babul le capital all right seno amandan ron kata ka sene fawndo ku ka soton but storage transportation marketing will be mu kulati milbe be denni seno kono so that menyanta kala since independence walam kasi kajibe seno mba yirwandi la nyaadile otherwise no manke and jama wala manke ikaje ko menkana laban kake wolam mel nyanta ka senoke ikana jikilate sena koto because seno kono kuran ka sotonjele coming you know I mean disease ka sotonjele ka sena fawn ke kuran ka min ite betala kudo sina be kanjele isi seno kele fawn soton marketing be fawn sambal lamen ka wafi no premol bejele so bekas atinandi no seno e boy and so that model be seno ko lafta seno la bara ko la ko be laare nyamen ate sawarno la ko take continue and buban ndebata boraba for example all right and they be but
ndebata kunjatale
so ne boraba del be sene musene lallet yaje me bala river Gambia all right farol ben down belan na parents no defang data just senola le to ba nyo ani every other thing yaje but ne ajibe for government sila ya calculate ko okay before nga independence to mala menna to avoid interest from cash crops so ila interest on cash crop so moldun tawto ka mollati o sankata GPMB ka kitu babdu all right but then bila independence on e baajala ko e cool natina karam for example so bora ba de be karanale do fa de karanale sati do to banko be kan na no be karanta wol be de sabatino la bora ba samaka ke senoka ke no nyama ay continue wonya falol le be bulu ani sare to da bandin le be bulu sama ibe sama senola fo si labanno ba fo muslati mensitano fo ka banko balundi so ni sene yo be calculate aje ko be frena situation do malan ko economy be change le society be change in a way ñil bere sila bora ba ko be senola kala so then there will come a time fo ngaji be saying ni seno membe ke kan bora ba jang mbakala nyaadi la ay yirwa hana tari bora ba dum be karane be karansi fa dul kala ani be bola bora ba fay bitala yaaje o be yirwa na dino la nyaadi le bora ba because then na yirwa jibe Gambia a lot of Africa na nya compared to Europe the la yirwa a kunnale because ko be ka den capital to la yaaje bolon kono ma fa jel katal l'affaire so ni na towns or jibe and villages bolon kono keje be kidering infrastructure facilities opportunities na so wo bebe na seno ani bankola jiriwa affectande because it means therefore ndela sabatino la boraba do de sabatino la sankole kunda and so on right so but cannot be boraba men si senano na project ko jela fa government unity let's say jahali pacha in the 80s but why will they man tamano so you can see since independence to now certain decisions ikaje masakundata is very good. The idea of support, for example, the idea of extension workers, the projects like Jahali Pacha. All right, so we may not need we have to have big commercial farmers, but there are many countries, and one country is Netherlands. That I'm back. One thing I have noticed, among big commercial farmers, just families wrong. Yellow piece of land, small piece of land, but government they support in many ways. Inputs, taxes, karoto, joranto, transportation and so on. So that yes, support the farmers la, wo farmers ila farm mawara, like among a big plantation, but they are able to sama funko ke mano doku or pompitero doku. Every 3 months they are harvesting. To the point that a country like Netherlands, an ingembe kanta warola. But Netherlands is the second largest producer of food in the world. The largest Netherlands supermarket also not for cake olomba come in Ninso. Ninso mnangamo membe Netherlands always had a banko dimu found. Fala ban sai ba jibe kay bo ni sol la population o tala ko sa promo nan del la jan ni sol bijang sajo bijang sewo bijang bal bijang ka me livestock banna sano ka sinkata salbo ni nang outside the country so sin in senala ko you begin to wonder yeta bora ba kas a family jele a full family a full village now even they can be mandinga full jola sare and so on but with cattle, Corel Bebulo, we support them livestock community with cattle owners, for example, or Mola Sajol. In the villages, about how I'll be livestock balundila nyadile. So, big livestock bijang, then I calculate, bring you Banasaro Sita. I went a little bit research about livestock, pigs, goats, sheep, and cattle. I noticed all of them put together, the population is about a million. A million. Yeah. Now that is wealth. So, and of course, as I said, from Banjul, from Bakau, ika musoni la gadino lejela all the way to Passe. You know, sama dulal bekeri. But why is it that musuhani sabe fuare yakono? Why is it that ila jato ila carrots nyole kamel balundi I mean doku ila quality be nyadi le. And ikamu marketing na soto, ikamu storage facilities na soto. So I think government nyanta nyinko jibela kunke. And the funny the movement buma under the Ministry of Agriculture, you see all kinds of project strategy for all of these issues. Every project is mirabang for sheep fattening lombang project, for land reclamation lombang, for small scale holder farmers lombang, for women gardeners lombang, any farmer of agriculture. Sinola Karaokara, there's a project. There is a project, multi-million dollar project. But still, food self-sufficiency is a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah. We should be even talking about farming because some are follow ketala. But before that, Nil forced Saudi Arabia. Well, nga complain ol soto jele pili alonko ibe trade ka nyame nje this because mil follow that all Saudi Arabia. Now, mang contract ko je follow Gambia government ning Spain ye been signed malo mung agreement de bije nyin dokulal military on Tuesday. Do we expect the same like Spain fanang purwa taraje?
Yeah, so in the first place, come in contract called Bondi.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can jackalim, Melfanal be Mansakunda, la Miral Nyak, it can do yeah, contracts with another country.
Yeah.
And Banku ordinary Banku Deun Lepitawoto.
Yeah.
And Yaning out of good intentions. And you feel the country the best interest, you will secure of these youths in that contract. Contract called the Mola. Di jamala yaje ko nyine belarinje nga nyine do kwali nyine na ferolti nyine na hamolti and nyine ben na fala di molla but comme ya fanya me o Saudi contract ban the Spain contract one imagine jande but secondly and this is the matter comment nga men raise human rights because nyim farms in Spain and nyim domestic workers in the Gulf human rights issue jamal lekatarje and wo fanang is not in manko in tafo malong you hear our stories you'll be amanke jor balia dronte warante mantoro membelale kai be sabatila damila domorol but there is evidence ko not just Gambians but coming other domestic workers melkabo from many other countries like Africa jang Asia kana Saudi Arabia or Middle East or Arab countries to situation ka soron va melon ke ka domestic workers nyol ikela organs nyol bandi kono subhanallah the kidneys nyol so fonko membije mantoro membije asiatale so that ni be yin contact sifada daka was safeguards nyol kumatele pour kaje be nyil tankala nyaadile and membo sabundila o membo kala coming tankaro e bambang is a contract on your share.
Yes,
in other stakeholders, civil society, other areas, engage because the mandatory Masakunda, but Masakunda be kukula, ebe doko kela fana ngalone. Ngalone for luatolom, for policy lombang, for program lombang, for project, for Yiruala, any area. We know it. Yeah, and why cannot government depend civil society to say, look, we have a new contract with Spain or we have a new contract with Saudi Arabia? You understand? You people in the civil society, maybe human rights do quoto, karoto, a new contract with Jibeba for a proper safeguards will kill it. Because maybe lowering Gambia best interest. Yeah, but imagine, any human rights organization or any human rights activists
not with the media too.
Or second media. So and so you bit mantoro sort of naje
already Saudi Arabia will they have report the
and it is a jarano because also in the contract okay kan Saudi Arabia I mean the power relations bijele you know Gambia government be muneno na Saudi Arabia ya ngol ka edite la so ni tilimba dak de la mol la je it be mun complain le kelo le bita minto
it will be difficult. So, Madame Muraneka, the first batch in Spain, 39 people. And I believe a lot of people applied for this. I believe na them number 500,000 for me because you don't just say immigration bill was too much. But at the end, 39 Lenyobo, first batch bini. What is your reaction?
xam nga wax bi ni biñ doon bi affaire bi commencé waxtaanoon nañ ko fii nii and suma waxi démb mooy suma waxi tey first of all the whole process man ma feel ne it was even a rip-off on the vulnerable people who are so desperate pour dem because of xëy na amuñ fii nii li ñoo mën a jàppande ko pour sutura seen boppa ñu gis ne loolu opportunity la pour génn waaye dama feel ne tamit affaire bi am na li ñuul ci sow bi lu bari la fa lëndëm loo xam ne leeraw luñ ko askan bi again I'm not surprised there are issues with the people that have gone to Saudi Arabia because nangu too bi diggante ñaari dëkk bu leerut su dëgërut ñu tàkk fu dëgër su problème amee dañoo nekk di nappal you know duñ ko mën a tackle head on pour face ko and tell it like it is so loolu moo de nekk issue bi so da ngaa gis ne ok xoolal application ñun ñëpp gis nañ bañ ne ñu dem sa léebo ba bañ ko ba xale yi di ñaay fence right gisoon nañ fii nii ñeneen ñi jël form si di ko jaay ay 50,000 ay 200,000 form rek de te óorul na dinañ la jël ndax duñ la jël so loolu yëpp xew na si process bi da ngaa gis ne the process was not straightforward the process was not streamlined in a way boo xam ne there will be accountability transparency dina structure and everybody will feel ne there is equality in the way it was done loolu laaj na waaye ok loolu yëpp passé nañ ko ñëw nañ ba fii nii after ñu struggle yëpp immigration make nañ ci xaalis parce que su dee 100,000 la sax ñëw ut passeport nga ñëw jël 39 people 39 gën a saan ci loolu noonu ñeneen ña ñëpp am sure ne dinañ dem passport is 5 years dinañ dem ba seen passport expire te duñ ko use for the purpose it was intended you know for xam nga loolu noonu tamit is unfair right ba pare da ngaa gis ne loolu yëpp am na jël nañ 39 waaye dem na ñëw na ok dem nañ waaye ana agreement boobu noonu waaye man tam dama dee xool ma ne ok I wouldn't even blame ñi nga xam ne ñooy dem because ku mar naan doo ko ne raxasul ñooñu ñu ngi mar naan ba fu mu nekk ni understand nga boo toxaloon ndox ñëppay groupe pour ëccoo toxa boobu noonu waaw so ñoom liñ gis rek mooy suma passeport a ngi nii jox ma visa o jox ma the necessary thing jox ma ticket ma dem li ma faa fekka dañoo feel ne I will cross the bridge when we get there ñun nag mi ci biti ak ni ko Madi waxee the stakeholders the civil society the Human Rights Commission ñoom ñoo war a put pressure on the government because pressure bi sa wartu na nekk government in the first place ñoom ñoo waroon a génne yëpp mu leer si table bi ñëpp xam lan mooy nangu too bi ñëpp xam lan mooy taam si parce que suñ broda suñ xarit suñ dëkkandoor ñoo faa dem suñ fa amee lu métti ñun ñooy jéenaatin di ko jooytu di ut loo xam ne lañ ko saafaral soo suñ wàlla mu ngi ci suñ affaire la as doom askan bi soo war na ñoo woon lan moo fa nekk waaye nubutoo yi ba tey kenn xamut lan mooy agreement bi ba tey xamut lan mooy terms and condition bi ba tey kenn xamut lan la ñoo fay xale ba tey what waay yu bagee moo fa nekk so loolu dañ ko war di bañ
lu ñoo fay xale which is a lot of people say this bad actually.
Okay, let's not even get there. Wallahi. Why? Guess nga, comme ni ko Badi waxee rek, mol ñantaloon na mu ne mu government, you understand? But also, mu ne mu government dorong, amanke mu ne mu government dorong, bari government fanang la rule. Wo fanang akumayatale in my Yankuba Dabos boy, wo kumayatale, right? Akumayatale bake. Puro fanang nga wolong. Yalong. The role of government, you know, it's not only having officials, giving them cars, giving them orderlies, new parade the streets or whatever. It's to provide services to the citizenry. It's to see to the well-being of the citizens. How do you see to the well-being of the citizens? Is to provide the service, the education sector, the agriculture, Madi has touched on it, you know, the roads, the schools, the healthcare. These are the services, not limited to that you provide to the services. Why for lal, we have fallen short. Why again? I mean, why time naka contract is very short. time lañ fa nekka ñu dellusiwaat the time boobu noonu those people are they going to acquire skills yoo xam ne suñ dellusiwaatee si dëkk bi there will be continuity for them to continue to survive and be well-meaning citizens in the country that is not clear and I don't think ne time bu short boobu noonu mun nañoo am loolu noonu you understand because su dee forkati fruits nga ana plantation or farm bu fi nekk boo xam ne soo ñëwatee you will be the best in for fruits picking fruits to implement that in the Gambia, and make sure you train other people in that farm or plantation in the Gambia for ñuy for fruits in the best way boo xam ne dañoo preserve the fruits du touch du xar du nooy you know what I mean so lu ñoo jànga foofu noonu how are they going to bring it here you know to translate it so loolu yëpp lu ñu war a bàyyi xel la man dama feel ne dëkk bi fii nii am nañ so many things yoo xam ne mun nañoo create pour suñ ndaw yi liggéey fa saa yu nekk dama ko dee wax suñ black sand bi ñoo transport all the time ñu yóbbu ko ñu defal fa tiles yi defal fa mirrors defal fa glasses yi ñoo naan and all that thing why can that be in the Gambia here ba nga xam ne ñi ñoo jël di leen transport ñu bàyyi leen fii ñu liggéey at the end of the day it will be a source of foreign currency instead of ñuy import ñun dañoo export loolu la moo nekk so affaire bi daal nañ leen di hold the bigger interest which is the people of the Gambia and the Gambia why not short-term fixes because it's not going to solve it.
All right. So ñu dem Saudi Arabia, they'll be well they are paid because ñoom dem nañ already $200 per month. That is I think $13,000, which is very small. So in Spain, they'll be paid €10 per hour. I think which is also very small. Every hour.
No, it's small because €10 per hour. Now you're forcing people to work 24 hours.
Yeah.
Because when you say per hour, people calculate ñaata lay am. Then da ngay def ne everybody wants to maximize.
And I think liggéey Saudi mooy gën a lifin jafe. That's for me because loolu lifin la liggéey lifin yi la. I don't want to say.
Why now again? It's foog naa.
Comme liggéey help yeah néeg yi nii.
ay domestic worker yooyu noonu ñeele plantation. waaye yëpp is like foog naa. léegi kayit lañ am kayit lan moo tax kayit bi du génn su boobaa ñu
di agreement ñu xam la moo fa nekk.
exactly the terms and conditions. affaire bi daal.
Talibo mu ne la réaction la.
ko jàkkaarloo war a tale de.
buba msafo dron alhamdulillah nte dal mol men be wul kam pour kataje nte ma ko bay dunga support le fana pour kaje fo funding ko la la fi no lom pour yeta ibe ku do jela nyaadoma do fana ba jela nyaadulama because jang niaji be bake nyin babu du tani fo man sakundale samba bang fo atari fon la bita kay fay bang fo mo le be samba la bang fo bita so disle la bang o mentality men adunta mol sondo mo kono ka bring independent fo say wo tatale fa karunta pour ka o bondi mol sondo mo kono abe kala kele balati ya understand adum masakunda da manta kele la mol fon le ba kele la ya comme ni fon ko e fay ko mbawulen tita yalla mo te forcer la bari kabri ko ñing ko fundita tumo mo jolle ya apply pour kata asiatal so kabri jawara la time mo ka seno ke ko mi mari be seno men fo ka ñim banko kanja mo ka seno ke da yetti fal tan sama soto mo tumo passeport be ñam ye bonam birim bolon ko ina ye passeport ñi ñam yesilo mo dayta andu wotu wotiyo ka sanne ika fal tan sama soto fal taw wor mo kilum fal keme ika soto bar mentality men be bul fo ngata tubabu do jang comme fon le judu ta jan andu ni mansa kunda be do
Kalibo, who needs to change that mentality? Who needs to change that mentality? Because the mentality can change.
But no,
but the mentality can change.
It has to multi.
I can interject. You are fan of when Bayo said don't interject me. You say interject Bantaba Kashale. So why are you changing that beat?
No, it's true.
Bayo Payang television ni kumo from be interject la banda ba katale
ko ka chati dala because in fana be interject la
okay
so green jawara la time mo ka fali kebe so na passeport nya islom da tubabu wala ta bag wala fo nga face des ato fanko o ka dan tul be nya la jang hande mo dindi wala bare mo tol kalama la jang because ni mo dol kela sanol le wafi ibamanu la sanol ke wafi dol kan ni si tural le bondi ko rol kono yesilo muta yeta wol besi malandi no jande hana dar man sakunda me dema ida fo la matemato fon sat nande ko dol bi je ko soto le mo kan ni si wuli kilin soto jang ante lo santo man sakunda man bututo fondila na man ken ni si penkolati ikola dila par mole motol sanjango motol ko ni sol kono janne mol tata hijora woni ol kono le jam bar mentality men na awulita wala min nyinte ngata tubabu dum fi samante ya bi jele intele mol yole je dinduru wulu tolo kono wala bitaka mol le kalo janga tubabu dum mol be fa kan siloka sa ni man sakunda fana ni man sakunda do e nyoje agreement ke kaje ko funding ke wuli jang ayta anna bita banko le nunu na je abeta tan
so you think ko man sakunda ta bondino la pour
ni sa bondino iba soto no la mol le la ngam foye ndani madi ani nede keno bendel bulu min to le jang handi nga keno soto fondel tata jela ma madi be janyame activity sodam handi mo wuta
activities not activities
yo ndaya soto wo nyal ne ba fo ka wo hanna ni mo ye mo nu fi asa fo ko man bek yaw de sa bari sa ndel madi be bota bolon ko keno ba bulu je keno be bulu je madi ka kono soto jan natra afo ni janka fo ko ha nga seno do kele jana pour dindiru men be duma wol salon ko fana be seno la jele mbenna nyin ko da nyaaw nyandi bari safo ngole fana ko seno be bulle e bolon kono barate manta mo do manta mbe mol nyaadundi no la nyaadi le be masa kunda nyaadundi la seno la nyaadi
a bari funding ke le be wala samba
ka seno man ke mari tra ki to be di ka mol la santo to buba
adol track do ale falo di molla
jamal
adol ale ko fo mo ke mo be
wala ke tada ya track to buse ale falo di le wala ke tada
track to tada nyame albe yo lon mo kilun le ka foko bar jambe o di political party kilinen yin don na ko nga taw bul folo be ay kembe tat
ale awafi
ya wafi kay ngada tije ya wafi ye bari ine serious not ngam fo wala mnyindi ko ta kitol ditale man ye trakidol samba community kono ko al senoke la dol bije sa to kono mo saydor ne ya apply pour ka ho senoke out of how many people mo saydor ibuka sonna respond la to man sakunda e fo funding initiate pour senola karola ye beamul di mo la jang ye beamul wa fitata ye kunum di mo la jang ye kunum wa fitata so sai ntela man sakundara mi tela man sakundara yadi tela itani mboro ye ko ite ita ni yadi mi nawni mboro ye ko ayta ndega bi daje ko fonu nyanda kala ni
okay all right
ate kala nyinti ka foko be man sakunda blame la all the time madi nol fana ni lafta mo la nyantola amanke politique nyantoti fatar banko la ta nyato nyantolam ni ko man sakunda nyinge isa fo fondin kol a telephone nyinkere man sakunda ali al nyati nge saje man sakunda ena ye man sakunda ya maro wala bar madi non la activities wala kam man sakunda dorne blame ya on san wala atinandi banko nyinti tano
okay
ate fo man futo sos jome futo sos la
okay
na tele ko ate mo activity so da alon ka fo ko seno le be banko ba
Jesus Christ
na aje faram folo ate folo ko Madi Jobarteh be santot talibo ko njira fana be santo
force
mbe seno raje wotu mo nyenyin kumo fo mo men na la hakilo asalon ko Madi be fo ka abe to nyal bar Madi be jabe chunin chake kan ko mo jang amanda seno la o ka sano advocate jang aka man sakunda yamar wobe keno la nyadi
pour Sénégal
hali
dama ngiram politicien ol
Madi te Sénégal yamar no la jang ade man sakunda fana yamar no la jang
bare man sakunda la
hani ndela man sakunda ngade bari man din kol ko
kana ja halle nam man sakunda andum tenna man sakunda yamare
la kawando
wi wosa ko nyaade
santo itan ata sunna ni man sakunda e do ku kidan ata sunna ni Sénégal e do ku kidan ata lota men ka wala mo ala nyin activity si abe siru wala ka ya on sa
ani man sakunda do ko kele ma kala mo
ani man sakunda jo
ay to mo lo
so ya jele do hani aman sonne na sonne do santan na bi
abenu jele
aman sonne
ko abenu jele
ko na ya jabo da jaman sonne
and because ila fa dun la ku dolte da
hani kano fo ye one side of the story so I atla ta sa
ani ate the story is open gambe be akala mo
hani sonne ma auto
thank you so much thank you
so hani mo follow mambandi
tawati
so me follow Madi wala nyiti ko hani be siwlo
okay
nga funding ko yamar nga man sakunda yamar nga lo blato bari yaje comme nin kunata man sakunda dro my friend you are not helping the others because munamu ite lam mindset ye men tandina wala nyindi ko ko ndina tambe masa kundale bilem bari ite fon la responsibility ndani ite fo nga masa kunda do ko fo nga sen da do tombe do ko laje ndama na fa sum business
masa kunda do ko kele
ya kele bari sai muna ne manda masa kunda ibe fa sum do ko la ye journalist ya karan nde fana be business on la MCO tata kansulu yala ne tata kansulu yala fo muna na mun de manda
ko wala de tebenna do ko wala
ela do ko mun la do ko ela office be men
okay
ela office be
tebenna do ko wala de
ela office be men
ela ite NPP ko wala wrong imagine ika foko imalon ko madi ye do ko ya understand
MPP le mu gambia di
exactly so ni malon apo imalon but because imalon kana foko
amalo jamre yalo ne malon imalo
na kana foko
ite fana talbe amme be fuda ko le long
okay hale bu yen
ni sama dasija talbe le kidai ko
okay thank you
ite fana malo mu ne gambia
ha si jamono bu jori
ni na activiste ya jam muso jam don no kere fatu ya on de sar kere fatu KMC Facebook inna man ta basse fa ka non sene lalbe munatu mune kata Sénégal je mune kata banko dule ne na molo ne har KMC fan ye Cristiano la bunda dala ya tombo kanslo ya menna amalo mune be la bunda dala akata chot le droit buche par men sakunda be mune kata wodo KMC de men vo ne na malo
okay sai thank you so much
okay
thank you MC go ahead yeah
ko ñu harama redu
go ahead MC
lan mo fi don xew nonu legi ni fa don xew fi legi ni
théâtre mo fi am
okay I missed it I really missed it
ma da dendi ko du théâtre dendi ko ama do bay fallo di ma ja ayo dendi
I really missed it
mu théâtre tu wala mu théâtre
go ahead MC how is that
jere bu wa foog naa ne
migrant workers
waaw si migrant workers yi nekk ñu ñëwu Spain ak fii Saudi nekk lu nga xam ne man foog naa ne government war ne mun a ut better deal bu nga xam ne dana ngay wusa doomi réew si biti foog naa government su ñu def négociation ñu gën a support suñu naka agriculture sector bi foog naa moo gën a am solo ñu gën faa def investment xam ne ko faa def ndaw yi nekk si réew mi fii am ay liggéey mun ngaa loo def projects ay companies xam ne da nga koo am all the regions all the municipalities nga xam ne da nga faa build projects yi mag xale yi nekk fa defa liggéey moo gën a soo xoolee ñu yóbbu soo xoolee at the beginning lu gars yi wax mooy waroon ne mën a wax Gambien si ñaata numbers la gars yi soxla 36 or 40 or 50 nit leen soxla bon doo mën a bàyyi soo xoolee si doo demee si immigration gën nañ si am raf xaalis bëgg ñëpp daw ne ne uti passeport ut forme si sax problème amoon na si ñii di ñaay fens ñii di dem di ko jaay ay 50,000 am na ko toogoon fi di ko wax so kon yooyu yëpp mu ngi xew adda bi dee nga ñëw nga ne waa 36 nit nga soxla parce que government xam nañ nombre si gars yi soxla xam nañ ko waaw wante dañ ko doon def pour ut xaalis pour addi immigration ak forme si gars doon jaay
forme su bari lañ jaay
forme su bari lañ jaay so foog naa ne nguur suy def dara dafa war a am transparency itam ak agreement su nga xam ne am nañ ko loolu dafa war a génn even addi assembly war nañ ko mën a jox MPC jox ko Gambien si lii mooy agreement si kuy dem liggéey war nga xam ne lu tax ngay dem liggéey tam en conditions da nga ko war a xam whether Saudi or Spain payment si dañ ko war a xam allowance si war fa nekk yëpp dañ ko war a xam loolu wata ndugu dafa war a feeñ pare government bi fa naa ñoom di scoring government ñoom dañ war a empower more on the young people because loolu boo ko na seen campagne promise bu nga xam ne bu nga jëlee réew mi 2016 2017 waxoon ne ni nga job employment si almost 150,000 ay ndaw nañ liggéey every time ñu ngi ko wax si kayit yi ba tey kenn xamul job yooyu ñan lañ ko jox ak fan lañ ko joxee so kon dafa baax pour ñoom lu ñu def ren nañ ko leeral askan bi peut être ñuy dem tam ñu xam lu leen faa yóbbu tam moo gën a am solo bon soo ñëwee si mbiri Madi xam nga taaliboo ngi explain ne Madi every time dafa nekk di criticize government it's good tam nga xam the role of the activist in a country activist role am mooy mu hold account to the government wan government bi ne lii ak lii Madi soo xoolee posam yëpp dafa wax pare wane joxe solution nekku dafa criticize rek boo ni nga ko defee nii ak nii foog naa soo nekkee government yow massivement Madi Jobarteh nag nga war a welcome nag nga war a déglu yow soo nekkee si biir lu kenn du la wax dëgga because lu laa wax lu la neexee laa wax boo ñu nekk si biti di wax mooy di opposition bi muy activiste soo leen di déglu rek yow da ngaa xool lu baax nga jël ko lu bon nga tegee ko boor loolu moo yóbbu réew si kanam soo xoolee su passé time bi jàmme problème bu la jàmmee doon am da ngaa gis ne si opposition suñ ko waxee dara sax ñu ne opposition bi la wala Facebook ñooy wax ñii ak nii bariwul so arrivé de loolu moo sonal Jammeh so da ngaa gis ne yow soo nekkee si ruling party da nga war di welcome opinion si ku nekk wax sa xalaat weda activiste bi béykat yi ñëpp xam ne weda soo nekkul béykat sax war ngaa mën a xel béykat because nu mu yàgga il faut ñu support dooleel béykat yi because tey soo xoolee léegi lu xew si àdduna bi léegi ñëpp di ngay dellu back to the land ñëpp di ngay béy fu mu nekk nii pour seen bopp wala soo bëggee wax ne waaw yow nekkuloo béykat da nga war dem nga am tool nga béy pour nga mën a dooleel béykat déedéet loolu kenn waroo koo wax waaye tey am na ñoo xam ne tey ñu ngi si ministry of agriculture nekkul béykat musuñ béy waaye tey ñoom ñoo nekk di saaf soo gën
at the time na ñoom announce sanguñ sa engrais bi this time
so engrais bi waaw
the price and everything
waaw so da nga gis ne yow as the minister yow comme ministry of agriculture tey ñun dañ jël government ñu jël Barrow ñu appoint ko as the president ñu jox ko doole ne ko léegi yaay appoint am nga doole pour appoint ministers mu appoint minister of agriculture so ñun as citizens lu ñu war def mooy ministry bu nga xam ne tey moo amee wàllu béy wàllu agriculture parce que ministry boobu kenn waru koo caaxaane because ñu mu yàgg léegi ñu yaa ngi doon di focus more on now si mbiri béy ànd ko war doole béykat yi soo xoolee up to January to February ba tey mënuñ fay béykat yi amee de fayuñ leen gis nañ fi coow yi
MC marché ko na tellement
so comme loolu ba tey loolu nga xam so su nekkee ne yow béykat yi ba léegi yow ak nu béy métier ak nu béy métier so ak nu béy métier yow yaa ngi béy ba béy bi jeex na soo béyee soo paree béy loo war def rek mooy ñu fay la sa xaalis waruloo toog ba ay months nga nekk di jooy def ay audio di jël ay interview fayu noonu yak nii ak coono boobu loolu tey nguur war naa mën a xool ne laa siyaa di xapoon na léegi di seen nañ try seen naka la du mën a amaat naka la mën a gis ne engrais bi war naa mën a ñëw on time naka la dooleel béykat yi ñu déglu béykat yi waxtaan ak ñoom ñu amal ñoom dialogue seen ne daaw li xewoon na waaye ren this time sooba yàlla ni mix lu xapoon yooyu yëpp war naa mën a xool even xaalis bu nga doon transfert di fay gars yi turu xam seen accounts yooyu xaw ma Q money something like that am na wel tey mu ne sonaloon si ob bi am ne amul Android phones pour ñu mën a transfert xaalis seen account yooyu yëpp gars yi ko doon fii si kaw bi so yëpp nguur war naa mën a xoolal bala nga ko def ici sax da nga ko war a jigee def study da nga war a jigee study loolu nag lii su ma ko defee ñaara nit la war a mën a affect ñaara nit la war a féebu amel tey ni ngi amee Android phone mënuñ koo operate amele amun ko so yooyu yëpp tey nguur war na ko mën a xool so I think it's important tam government muy déglu opposition bi lu opposition bi di wax tam mu jël ko mu xam ne ñii tam doomi réew mi leen kenn ku nekk dafa ne man réew mi nii laa ko mën a yóbbu su ma ko joxee naa ko yóbbu nii mu gën a gaaw kii ne nii laa ko yóbboo so kon di yëpp benn la tey noo nekk si nguur da nga nekk si opposition so il faut ñu bàyyi xel whatever wala activisme moom ñu ko war a welcome si réew people like Madi Jobarteh dañ leen war a welcome moom soo xoolee recently mu ngi laal opposition bi mu ngi laal mu ngi laal ñëpp so kon loolu mooy dëgg
fo mo malay ko la
jërëjëf
loolu legal fana yamar laal ba Allah ak ko ke kan ñame al fana yaaki tay tel fana kan la moy tol tole
all right
adu ka fo men nan klo ka moy le
thank you
are ñi nan mi la jan ñal yaake KMC han mbali to tar la ci loka ita ke mi la te ñame
okay all right Ablay go ahead Ablay go ahead
yes thanks the issue of migration the agreement, the contract, or whatever it is, you know, should have been publicized.
Yeah.
You know, if you have good intentions and it is the people that you are representing, it's important that they know what you have done for them, you know, what you have negotiated for them. Clarity is important. People can decide based on that information. So, but if it is half-baked or it's not given to them in full, mun nañoo decide why it will not be complete. Regarding the safeguards, the red flags are there already. We all know what happens in some of these countries. We are also not the best country, but if we are sending our people anywhere, we should make sure the basic safeguards, you know, are there. You know, because these are people that are going to come back, and you know, this is the cream of the society. You're talking about the youths here.
These are people that supposed
these are
to
assets.
come back.
these are assets, irreplaceable for that matter. Whenever they deplete in any country, any society, that society will also deplete. You know, so basically that is it. But again, to discuss a little bit on what the guest Uncle Madi had said is, you see, governance is not about the infrastructure as in houses, how nice the parliament is, how nice is the state house. Governance is how effective, you know, how futuristic our policies, our programs. Look at it. You know, in Mandinka we say Samaseno. That tells it all.
Yeah.
Meaning farming during the rainy season.
Yes, that's what we know in the Gambia here.
You know, that is an abomination.
Used to, yeah.
Yeah, that is an abomination. Who controls the rain?
God.
You see, in life, if you want to live under someone's supervision and control, you don't grow. It's natural. Because he gives and takes. He decides what. Up to now, I have not seen any meaningful rainfall, as far as I am concerned. And this is what, June?
Yes.
June. End of June. Now, if government, a thinking government, a government with right policies, programs, gives you a tractor. Okay, you are a farmer. I'm giving you a tractor. For how many? 3 months rain. That's abuse of tractor. You are abusing the tractor. What will tractor do for 3 months rain? It will not commensurate. That tells you the government don't have the right policy, the right systems. The thinking is not there. The design is not there. Because if you are giving tractor for 3 months rain, you are insulting us. Because tractor, 3 months, what is he going to do? And we are talking about how many hectares of land? So it means the government that is actually even giving tractor for optics does not know what it is doing. It's just like you give bazooka to my 5-year-old boy and say, I want you to kill this ant. It doesn't make sense. So that tells you the policy, the design is not there. Accelerate them. What should have been done first is, before you give tractor, make sure you put in place the necessary things that the tractor would actually be used for. So, lolu moy force failure be. We will go back and forth. Since we continue to call it Samaseno, we will fail. It's Mandinga. Samaseno, yes, when the Sama is done, nobody is saying anything.
Yes.
That's the truth.
All back to the north.
And you see, there has to be, you know, man, I believe in us being very nationalistic sometimes. The State House, Gambia government, should be eating from our pools, our millet. You are complaining that, oh, Uncle Madi did not farm. But the government is not buying our millet. State House. And it's our money. The government is not buying our lambs. Government programs, they should buy from abattoir. They should have a national livestock something where they don't buy from Senegal or this. No. The government, you know, the president himself will eat our coos, our millet at State House.
Allow me, bari men foka membe ke kan Senegal membe ke kan Senegal ko membe ke kan Senegal yolo.
Okay, so what needs to be for, to just summarize, the cream of the society is the youth. As such, programs so learning, you know, policy and nala, action oriented for that matter, to make sure we retain these people. We have a lot in this country. I always tell people there is no country that is not giving enough for its survival. No, that is not God. It doesn't happen like that. But now it depends on how you use your brain to make sure you put those things that you have into use. We can have a lot of things that we can do in this country to make sure we, you know, you see, for example, I always tell people, this is funny, but that's part of the business that I hate. Some people will hate me for that, but I hate that business. Second-hand business, I don't like it.
Second-hand business.
Why must we be paying for people to dump something to us?
That's probably violence.
No, allow me, you don't understand what I'm saying. That is a government policy failure.
I'm coming.
That's why he said, no, allow me.
They're not angry with you, they're angry with him. Why do you have a problem
We want to make something clear. He said a very important thing here.
Twist your words.
You cannot twist. Allow me. I just want people to understand what Uncle Madi was saying. Masakunda buka kodo di mola teng, you know, ika opportunity le create, ika mir nyale fenang, ye call falling, moli yuwa akono. Like for example, we have local people that are making these shoes here. We all know.
Yalon dendi ka dole bela ja, ye fende safa bala kodi. Ye fende safa bala. Fo be mo be forcer la le pour ay nete ya janba. Fo mo la na fa fengle.
Ndese mo be forcer la because dem ay Masakunda. Matu.
Advertise kan site.
Some of these things allow me to learn now.
No, it's okay.
Okay, simply put, na youth soul ke make sure you remain young. Omu kulti me ala waji bolem untol benyanta ka advocate.
Okay.
And agriculture is one way because ita kata food men pick. To be frank with you, I don't say food picking does not require any skill. But I don't think it is really something that is there for us to say, okay, when they come back, they will now show us how to pick fruits. And how does that add to our skill set, national skill set as a country? And you see, countries evolve. Those in the 50s, there were skills that, or educational programs that they were fanciful at the time. Everybody's going for that. The time would come, we are not going to be talking about food picking. It's something else. So
the drones are doing it, not human beings.
Yes. So obviously, it is not a skill set that you should export our cream to go and then learn and then bring it back and so on. So what we are saying is, for agriculture to move, we have to make sure it is not summer seno, but it is all year round seno. Okay. And this seno should not be only on the farm. That is his understanding of farming. If the president has a direct policy or the government has a deliberate policy of making sure they pump money back to Gambian farmers, that in itself is farming, because marketing is part of farming, agribusiness. Okay. So that is what he fails to understand. Farming is not about the land. And Mr. Jobarteh is actually farming. Mr. Jobarteh is actually farming. Because farming does not mean you sow only. It means the market. If you are advocating for the economics to come in play, it means you are also farming.
Okay.
And the government doing that, it means the government is farming. So government is not farming in that area, and that is his advocacy, which is in line with agriculture.
Okay.
So that is what his understanding is.
That's okay. And that will
but you don't talk in the language that he will understand.
I'm sorry. No, English is my
Taliban, stop demeaning people and things.
Okay, thank you so much. Barkaba, we bita topic dolto unless ni Madi Fensoro abe me respond na. Laftale moli diam about the State of the Nation address Sona President we minke the National Assembly amame diamuta kukuma dola mi alon kontrole akaja but akoye 100 million le spend pour ka kolongol sing pour oil and gas mi alon ko ijikita ko abijam ako the results is positive, but imam fenje follow. Also, 90% of Gambians, you know, electricity suddenly before the end of this 2025. What is your reaction to Barosona?
Well, maybe all part of it, because the reason ngamen for the low matter for and left a nila, you know, which for the diamol kono is to say monkey drum borough government issued almost since independence. I think the government banko loan this silakan kayirwa nati banko kan. And that is the reason Mayat Nandi a suuvil keta fang mamme banko deun kala fikka bo banko kan because yaaji ko ferol tijang fentije si muna fanno menna pour que yiriwa ka balu nyimma so ton so lafta ka fundi gambe bi mo jama lafta ka bo gambia because jikala teta e man fere so ton kol koleata balu koleata yaaji nyim sene ko mo sa afo ya ke ku femati bari seno manke ku femati yalom seno ngamira haramadun arado ku follow probably senolom because for le balu so near haramadun follow dula am so tata jiru diun katile ye domo ye fewn fi ya je tata bato e nyol muta usatari londi tije ya je londo dron ni yiro den sakatile ngado and what traditional farming is suppose subsistence farming mo be sabatrin dulato kawulke but be need a lot of farming now you need capital among something to, because I mean for it I can also I mean for it I go around yes I do I mean you pray doku okay ye for farming doku for akati ya te you know abetala dam in terms of storage e ba samal dam in terms of transportation e ba wafle dam in terms of marketing you know and so on so farming manke chahan kuti and mundo farming ka kenyame coming in total 50 years ago 100 years ago 200 years ago 1000 years ago molka farming ke drum because lafta balula le drum but farming mo naflo ti sai and yiriwa me tan di wolam dawdan ni yiriwata fo tubab gulam fo dawdan ni the base of industrialization farming mo walete so farming mo kukumalati but amu one thing let it wrong out of many Maron Contel failed as a nation pour kaji ko banko yiriwa because otherwise be 2025 you look at banko member of Singapore if I independence of 1965 and 2025 dunia la banko mel yiriwa the top 5 there among Singapore be wala ko mune wo sabu because nyaton ko nyaton kayale wo sabu yaji nyaton kayale wo sabu ndel wo nyaton kaya sifa hanin sa be dasari walla because gamba manyana kala gamba man foiria gamba diwul le foiria da bari gambia man foiria ha banko man foiria banko diwul le foiria because banko diwul hanin sa banko la naflo mam amuna fanto no ma yele mandino ngake nafloti mensi nafa but fofen ni mensi banko na flo di banko de wala si banko yirwa a gambe o sotonne ka bonna kenoto bang na hana madin to banko dinul to bang na ba na fonyoto tilo men ka bo gambe nyil be mu na flo let bari moyele mandino ngake fenti mensi yirwande
bar Mr. Jobarteh ni mo juduta ala soto la nyim banko kan afundita nyim banko kan fatel fana bukaje mo ka judo a soto fewna wandi banko ta kan ndel lay banko to jang aka fen soto jang faka kordalo jang fol fana bukaje
ani
sabata ay jabi but ya ngal
yalom is ni bije si indianology you know tubabol or even nigerianol enajang in karadola the situation is the same. Come in Nigeria and Gambia. You can see the situation is the same. Still when yatonka problem more, you know, because Nigeria manyana Nigeria bi dunia kono famba kumanya irwala Nigeria.
Ndema mira nyatonka kola, ndema mira ko daji kola mun tol fawn.
Alright. Fine.
Nyatonka mu daji kola.
Okay, fine. No, it's okay.
Na ndite man sekunda da mafale ba mbere fola.
Okay, ila mo ya pare to baba bwende
ko daji ko mbero fere yaje bari isi doje anata gambe jang anata nyinin dola but because amanke ama soto ya yaje but ay capital le soto ya anata jang aje ko jang ferol bijanne jang you know opportunity bijanne ni investor wrong mbeda fulo so
gambe na fuluti yol fanan diwlu kabu jandi kana la dol to te
bari nyaaji be gambe diwlu
ka talla buba
ala pare ya jabe ya nyinin kala
bari gambe diwlu mel ka fundi jam bumba be ay bu ka fundi ko because na capital le soto mbita Sierra Leone warante Guinea Bissau o UK ngata nga invest je e ka fundi la because imam fen soto njang elo ngata UK ngani ni woto ngata Senegal o ngata Guinea Bissau so equation be la riwo nyale so you know nkanyi moy molga fo moye daji kol fale
yes
and sometimes nka nyini karoke ninko daji ko munam daji koti munete daji koti munon te daji koti yaje munon buba daji koti now daji ko manke coming ela wardrobe bi de mbeden ka ko le duna ngata nga wardrobe bi ngaden ka bi ni wala fundita sama ngaden ka fi ndom bi ni wala fundita so daji ko wolom ite fala hanamadi yati me alon ko ela miro to ela manyato me alon ka adadata le kabirlu me mari wuluta ikuluta nyame la suo kono i sabati nyamen je ibe sato mento i karanta damen ye kafunyol mel soton yi ite fala fo futata tembe to melon ko i fonga ya miro be famulu e ka kol cross e ka kol karang ya akiskisi ya kontibo ya jibe ko ko bandi nyoto in the end asina kulinde to bawo sa be character so gambe no munan na character nawo daji ko abe lori munekan yaji bi nin jamata dol si daji ko fo ya fo ni islam la karola haramadu nyanta kala nyaadi le dol sa fo christian karola haramadu nyanta kala nyaadi dol sa fo na ada karoto haramadu nyanta kala nyaadi le dol sa fo commune londo to commune ni mo karanta mun karana nyanta kala nyaadi le si modol mo sa fo kata karam to anin ka karan ita kilinti yaji so that isita la fo PhD so ton bari man daji ka isita ke imam ti iman dajika isike pastor ti iman dajika isike minister or president ti iman dajika because dajiko be lorin tunkul le kan ti lewnin tonya yaji ani wo tunkun sifal ite lota nyaade le kawmuta ko asike nyaanga nin debola nin siloka so nin ko ngan dajiko falling wo manke bi kuti daji ko dada from a long distance la kabodu la janne an ku jamala ka contribute nin daning ne kafuta bi taning te kafuta bi nin talibo ning abla kafuta iba influence be influence la positively or negatively
yeah Mr. Jawad
so na daji ko that is why the leadership that is why
alfa lati yam da min da kata kam sama kuma bula joye fananta fana ngambe so do daji ko ko do mo fa
okay no problem
fo kam ta mo bi da bula ko ko mo dal
be time
okay so
go ahead yes
you know
so mo bimo wax mari interject ko
remote control la gande
okay so kanin da ga mo zanni jang ka fo ko wo kono nyaton kaya ko malete nyaton kaya fodi wulu lalu lombang nyaton kaya fo karan teacher lombang nyaton kaya fo la boss lombang I mean hani nyaton kaya ko membe sirin jang buba membe jing programme mo mode atelam nyaton ko tija abe mala nyamen abe programme be lala nyamen abe den atibe mala nyaadile ni mu presidenti ika influence le ika society influence so nyaton ko ningo nyaton ko mafo drum president but nyaton ko dawo danding so na dajika ko gamme jang nyanta jibela betake anda manka kudi malon ko mo ka afo nyamen very easily mo fu mo le daji ko falling no what mange one day daji ko fanola in one day
okay all right it's not that easy
no so this one ni not that this one to
in response you have time to respond
you come back
so ni not that this one constitutional jibe the section there I think section 70 or 77 something like that three things le kumata sex or provisional kono ko president hanasike I mean sawsan hanisinya killing asita National Assembly ako ay diamu deputy le about the condition of the Gambia about the policies of the government, and about the administration of the state. So these are the three pillars. Sona Belori Menka. The condition, the policies, and the administration of the state. So ninko the condition of the country, banko din be baluka nyadile. Banko la fanko bang, tanko bang, yirwa, kubetol ning kukuru melbe banko kam banko al halo be nyadile. Yaje. Yo wo policy dung atela mum policy lebe bul cool jaraka. Fo kaje ko banko yirwandi. All right. And so, wo policy lu melka taman the institutions nyollam the state mu institution net wo state fang la al halo be nyadi de ya so ni mel ni ku sabol faham inata president lamoy isa ko president man diamu nyun koto betek ha to nyana tale ay listro ke coming ala policies nyol projects nyol ye loi mel pass national assembly ani be mel pass la hamne be mel pass la jari o katari
I sector be male all the ministries
all the ministries so but come in listing of projects nyol be mel be kono e be menkeka all right maybe akumata prior for but more importantly amana ka kuol be larim banko kanyamen ka respond
like what
like for example corruption
among corruption
so corruption for coming anti-corruption commission act passed ko be anti-corruption commission lola important so coming drong gavanya I mail list one more official statements that official things may be lowering now more or less o manke the big thing to me for example as a citizen but I want to hear bankola al halo benyami corruption because corruption alankana metale back in bankoka malonka manke ntela opinion te manke talibola opinion te all right national audit office ye report bondile on corruption ila report bijele e dalilo danije national assembly ye resolution kele men be dandin corruption police le investigation ke ko mel be den corruption la investigative journalist le report bandi le mel be den corruption the president himself a commissioner on London inquiries ke le mel be den corruption but corruption hani saying abitakande yo am fen photo now ni lata coming bankola fewol dabe query nyame balobe kolari nyame ay inflation for all right I figures therefore inflation be daming all right but then exact policy de bota la kaje ko baluwe sonaya imayo kachamanta woto so aminda ko idam amambo bankola kola balula kola mamba kala mabake o amalon abu be jarala nyamen o mune o sabu ya jame assets amawo for the fereng and bangda be tembo mento was Sona statement Audi Wati Menna. Probably the most important issue, burning issue, in Jame assets law. I'm a fan photo. So, is it Tarin Sajako? I'm a fan photo. But the other important thing is administration of the state. Ningo administration of the state, Banko Melbe, Bundal Melborim Banko can Banko de la Hajul Topoto, Kabanko Yiriwandi. Security, sports, energy, health, education, communications, and so on. In terms of effectiveness, efficiency, transparency, and accountability. So that the state may alhalomento for in Barrow's mind, and until Besa Jibe, for the state of the Gambia, is it effective? Is it efficient? For lankana mo bijela bang, for kontiboro bijela kaje ko meyalon ko nga dokol dila ebe masakunda kono ko dokulal ibela doko ke ka nyamale bang ko me nyanta kala nyame ni loi silola nyala melon ka bi banko dil nafaka and money complainol dile about the state of the delivery of public services Banko Dingolo complained many times. So in that case, therefore, I feel Amandiamu Bake or at all in terms of the administration of the state, because so that the constitution required President of Banko Dingolo at state matter, the head of state, the state la al halobe nyadile. Is it healthy or not healthy? Is it strong or not strong? And so on. So that neither something like oil, right? I mean, 100 million America
100 million US dollars.
US dollars. Ako jakalo warade 100 million abotamin tole ka spend in exploration auto. Yaji. Until every day, in fact, as our organization, the Francis Small Center, request for information submitted to Ministry of Petroleum using the Access to Information Act. Pre-information about the new oil exploration issue. So, because every day there I check Ministry of Petroleum and Energy website, and the last report I see there is 2021. You know,
about this oil.
About this oil, and what information of is basically about bidding documents. So not necessarily information about coming really in a state of oil benyadile. So the
bidding documents for the drilling.
Yeah, for the drilling, like to companies, oil companies that do the drilling. All right. So in terms of information, press release in Kajako, the last time I checked, like 2 days ago, only 3 press releases in technology in the website.
In the website.
Yeah, and those press releases man relate to coming Baroy Memphis. So meaning lankena more monetary caring na oil sector quarter, and it is concerning Buba because it's government. Okay, but you oil quota that bring Yajame time 2005 Brae CD Bondako Alhamdulillah project. Ako we have oil. Miracle donut.
Yeah.
All right. See, I killing ye Bumbakata ko petroleum house.
Yes.
Ye ministry create Ministry of Petroleum. Ye Malta ye be a joker. We come down 20 years later, the government come in a drilling about 20, but we spend 100 million.
Yeah.
So it raises the question, then Ministry of Petroleum, and not just Ministry of Petroleum, but also something critical, government, National Petroleum Commission. So you munda lani lo promote Islam. Very mang oil song on the other ministry brukako.
Yes.
That big house at turntable called Petroleum House. What petroleum? You have no petroleum, you build a petroleum house. You know. So I think Lankanema Jamal Nyan Tatar Sotona, Memman Soton. And one would expect coming Nina to the Sona, the president be cool be Jabakase Fatawatala Banco Dunley, so that Nalon cool be Larry Nyadile.
Okay.
But after this Sona, there I have more questions than I feel coming, I have answers.
Okay. Okay. So left Dunila about this political party because of time. Now, in NPP ila National Youth President Keba Madi Bojang, akakana party ulelo NDP National Democratic Party, which results that Safero Kaya to explain munatin na bukiela meeting all organized later in ata bondi ala palaso. Ima for ya bondi la party tole, but according to their West Coast chairman Lamin Jamba akoye bondi la party otole. Now in the United Democratic Party, fanang there is this standard biara fight issue between them. Najele Rohi Malik Law and Yankubatata interview la they attacked Talib. Ila interview to me along Kewaleke. Talib fana Safero Kelelum, but another delete. How did you see this struggle within our political parties in the Gambia?
Yeah, so personally, I'm surprised in vibrations in our political parties. Because simply then I feel still in the political parties a mental loading kunke. Yeah, in terms of structures, in terms of laws or bylaws, all right, and in terms of coming miro, because political party law yalo mum mirelekan, yalo mum hammelekan, and so that ndenga menje na cross roto over the period coming since independence to date. Na political party still democracy membeja dasatale bake still party sotonta party ding bije bari ninnata decision making to, for example, and power make exercise in the political party ikaje ko decision making in power be either more killing or more than the blokono and not coming the rest of the party involved the Okono because among proper structures coming bundal ni silo lande mealonko political party ko constitutional hamme nyameng ay ken national institution ti yaje mealonko asi banko ta e banko mara. This is why the political party be in power iko ruling party na be in opposition iko government in waiting. So political party mu government let ite leka banko tamandi. Pro political party is Sahaya. Fighter luring Lua Senul Kang, I tell luring Dalila Senul Kang, I tell luring Sila Senul Kang, and Bundal Malanko Senate Bambanta. Now, no man can drone. Certainly, even anyway, no sabasi soton nole, but the kind of no sabah menteka in the party to, I bajaloko a lot of the time, a mantari dending. Progress have made programs or objectives or ideology in terms of the party, but about personality issues, differences, and and so on. And so it means that when the political parties Hanisa Mantari in a shape mealonko for me it qualified to be called a political party. And for me that also explains Walam Dalilo de Mealonko, Gambia democracy koleata. Ma sort no nyanta sort nyama in good governance ma sort no as a nation, as a country, because the government be based on political parties like so ni political party mang democratic mang good governance sort of and ni ko democracy in good governance be loring sartol le kan in tunkon le kan ni wol man sahaje même mina kala wolom ni political party le man sakunda ta ibe masakunda tamandela wonyale so masakunda fanantina democracy sotona in good governance and nimo soton democracy and good governance yirwata soton nola so ni elo ndengaje nyinom na political party la problem ti which is why ndenga for many times memmanke biti kon na political party enyanta falinale enyanta reform killer now I know before 2016, Benin dictatorship le kono, mealon ko même fane o sabu is because na political party be lari no nyame. Jawaralom and in PPP atele ba nyato atelom everything to there like NCP in Sarap Mustafa Diba warante Asan Musa Kamal in GPDP. And so political party may government control like PPP. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elections you continue to win. Yeah, because Satwell Mel political party taman lay be dasaring, therefore Satwell Mel banko for taman or be dasaring. Na democratic standards naji be during the PPP regime, First Republic, it be dasaring no bakele. So what before PPP was easy, pre win every election. So we don't problem multi because in the end government transparent la, government effective la, government na at a perform la, deliver and deliver nyame so before yani corruption ning wo batale wo yiri wandila so that asianda nyala myalon ko 1994 coup d'etat keta. Now what would expect coming wo be kala momenti be falindiro kala not just coming in a state but na multi-party system from ba change la. But AFPRC me yele mataketa APRC ye tradition killing la continue.
Problem will be just size
what traditional continuator and so APRC for antara ya jame bulo kono wonya and everything it's not Gambia or APRC first and foremost alanta nyadi with ya jamela interest because it's the party leader. So party leader ngona prioritize beyond and above the party and even the country. So all the other parties came again into it. UDP will form the other parties will continue to wonya. No dictatorship kono for 2016 nga 2017. So I had expected bring for 2017, all the parties would realize, okay, you can give an excuse to say, menu dictatorship like Kalendikan, so democratic standards, good governance standards, maybe we don't have luxury for that because we are fighting a dictatorship. It's like parties, community South Africa, they were fighting against apartheid. ANC, they didn't have time for a lot of democratic good governance standards. But bring apartheid bandemaje ANC bejanyanta because the reform menyanta kala imanna okay, and now you are not anymore fighting apartheid. You are now in a democratic dispensation. So dictatorship banta, and now we are in this democratic dispensation, and the parties will masona reform la. So what is going to happen is the explosion will start implosion from inside. In the more they start like a new fight because there's no more dictatorship. So we are in this democratic dispensation, and everybody ideas, mission, objectives, and everything else. So in the end, nundo meye muta. All right, that one leader or that group, they are may party muta together, cannot hold them anymore. So vibrational lebekela. So for me, member kekan UDP, all right, or NPP or DOI, I mean GDC and what the new ones are coming and so on. They'll all go through this. Yeah, they'll all shatter until you realize, look, okay, this party cannot operate we have to put proper standards. In Deso I'm going to produce a paper, all right, suggesting reforms, what needs to be reformed.
In political parties.
In political parties. So, for example, one issue, one political parties, if they want to modernize, three things are modernize and democratize. Yeah, the two things, to modernize and democratize. So, one thing, for example, flag bearer position and Secretary General and party leader.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at it, Nico carrying on Secretary General and party leader. When it comes to flag bearer, there's no doubt that Secretary General and party leader will be the flag bearer. Because, again, let us also remember the background. The background, the surrounding, is then we are a very patriarchal, society. A socio-cultural system, kebayani nyatonkaya horomane in a way that we don't question them. So we be confused, and then all the religious, interpretation or misinterpretation menkake, we be ka system ne kredimelonko. Participation aka affect le, accountability aka affect le, transparency aka affect le. Meanko benna party batandika. So near Secretary General party leader ke more killing wala opposition muta, and the constitution allows wo fana law as flag bearer. Most likely that will be a flag bearer. And ever since independence, during the time from the betterment, any party member with the Secretary General and party leader is also the flag bearer.
Yes.
Yeah, so that. When you to realize, look, it is important party Secretary General and party leader keep position to Niamuta, you cannot stand for flag bearer.
Okay.
You separate.
All right.
Yeah, and then we need to sit also to define Munamu Secretary General and party leader. In fact, what does that mean? Secretary General and party leader. Should they even be together? Should we even have a position called Secretary General or party leader? Or should we, for instance, party chairman, for example, or so? And time limit, should those things have time limits? So, as I said, I'm a paper bundle on that.
Okay. Right.
Looking at many areas of reform.
To read
but
that,
yeah, so in question about what is happening in NPP or UDP and other party, personally, I'm not surprised. In some sense, I welcome it because it is this vibration also. Member party force to do the reforms they need to do. So they either do it willingly or unwillingly because the circumstances.
Okay. All right. Because of time, Nene, yeah. What is your reaction? Because they were going to discuss about the State of the Nation address. We did not have a lot of information about it. It was very new at the time. And also NPP finally Dahanenj Jom Keba Madi and of course Lamin Jata also, who used to be the West Coast chairman, and also another two people, Lamin Ture and another one guy, So what is your reaction to this?
Okay, again, like the Sona, Dumashi comment because Lima Wahon, Falatolo Bente, when I feel that I had said, ne, President Bisayum Gene Wah, because voice the come with power, and that position is not a small position. So wahe there should be calm, the to restore hope, the to restore dignity, the to restore confidence. I'm not looking you are a yik. Again, Madam feel that this is a ceremonial thing because it's in the constitution. So you want to fulfill that part of the constitution, even though there are so many things in the constitution that you do not respect and do as it's supposed to be, but when it pleases you, you do. So this one, consistently, they come every year and say Sona Adra. Ministries, and you know, you been a beautiful statement, mom when you talk read ko. And talk na because lack of verification of the information being that could they make mom look like a weak leader in the moment. Because it's not factual, or it's not the realities on the ground, you know, they kind of cringe and, you know, bite their tongue. So, Fofulako Niko were the Dimbale as the leader, Sugena say. Why then you also move away from this optics ceremonial, because President Bisayum Duge Chumuto Gena State House, that's expensive on the taxpayers. It's cost. The lolo, Gena Bumwara Gena, then you are the measure, it has to be value adding. Whether in the immediate term, the short term, or the long term, but it has to be value adding. Warna in the yokote, warna in the gem kanam, che askan bi. Otherwise, waruta gena, otherwise waruta wasudeta fayaha. So lolo warning ko setat, ñu jema defarat bobu non, because mënu ñoo nekk di def the same thing over and over, te change ñu dara, bobu tamit amalut ñu njëriñ askan bi. So at the end of the day, waxon na ko fi te duma repeat sama bopa, parce que li ma wax fa naa ne leer na fofu noonu. Dem na ñëw na, li Sona bi warona def defu ko. It has fallen short of what it is meant to be and what it is meant to do. Now we move on. NPP send Broha Habi, UDP or whatever. Hamgaman, since the first time being sent that letter, man I said ne, I welcome the letter because every institution, even sa kirsa, so gise ne nit ñi ñu ngi am ñoo doxale da nga wara follow ay sarta ñu ne am nañ constitution am nañ sen code of conduct ñu bindal letter buñ jokk rek because hype bi bari woon na ñi la tam biñ génnee di def ay interviews dañoo def lii doo mën a nekk si biir feena ba pare génna di def a propaganda for another agenda that is not in line from finger jóge loolu tam ku nekk warloo ko nangu despite it's the NPP, you know what I mean? Because come here one fenentam doko nangu man fofu lay buga wahe. So gena na ñu bindal letter bi, which I said na it's welcome. Jox nañ leen opportunity, okay, explain or come and do this, ñu jox leen a timeline because you cannot just write an open letter. And gis naa ne okay, ndax ñi la respond na response why afterwards man toogaat naa fi ma ne bu leen just bindal letter rek parce que feel ngeen ne naka lañ ko waxee yéen a nekk in control and bugg a tiitalaate or to intimidate. The letter has to be genuine and it has to serve a purpose and so ne damaa def li mégal song nga def ko because am na ñu bari ñu laa xool am na ñu bari ñuy roy ci yow am na ñu bari ñoo xam ne li nga fa nga nekk bugg nañ faa nekk te buñ fa nekkee dañ war a def li nga xam ne loolu nga doon def ci lu ne may li jaar yoon and I'm happy ne génnaat nañ ñu def that letter to say ne def doon a meeting def blah blah unanimous concession okay génne nañ ki I don't know what their constitution said. I just hope ne that letter expulsion from removal from the positions is in line with their constitution or the code of conduct or it's in line with law because buguma tamit because of ñu jaay leen doole génne leen te fekk jaarut ak loi. I hope ne it is suñ ko defee loolu laa def so loolu I said kudos to them. It is in line with how an institution should, you know, govern or do things. The difference here is, you know, at the end of the day, what I also see, even though did a interview, but when this final letter came, I haven't seen an interview for them to react, to give a reaction to that.
Yeah.
Possibly, Helena, I haven't seen it. As opposed to before that happened, ñu doon def interview waxi bari na ñu ngi def ay meeting so dafa mel ni ñëpp nee nañ tànkum teres ñu bàyyi bu dem I don't know. Okay, the forum, those are internal. I'm going to make a forum, Munuma Hamli Fire. You make a forum, Munuma Helta. Linga Ham the more gain at public domain. You know, Muna on. Lolen you Muna react on and lingis. So, man, Fofala or M. Lina Sam Forum, Lolo is their own bread and butter. Let them deal with it. Why Soko Hole at the end of the day, Lolo Lina? Tighten apart. Now, the comparison I did last week, which a lot of people, it really itched their skin, or, you know, got under their skin, was, okay, if you look at the Barrow, the NPP, Barrow as the party and secretary leader, how this formality that everybody has, you know what I mean? And the UDP party leader and secretary general. The difference is not much, or if they any different. Ñelenel de disgruntled ñu génné dañoo form seen party, you know, blah blah, ñi ne joxuñ ñu dimbale wuñ ñu, man welda la joxuñ ma weld ubeluñ ma welding shop, ñele ne man miner la de jël suma license bi, ñele ne I was the leader, they took it from me and gave it to somebody, and all the complaints is about me, individual interest. It's not about Gambia, it's not about me, it's not about you. And that's where I had a problem that day. I said I have a problem. The reasons of coming out to speak against where they belonged and enabled, you understand, and participated and took part in the way things were going in the party. But once now feeling that the cake, that they're giving them cake without ice, or they just smelling the cake, not eating it. Now they're disgruntled. I had a problem. And MC at Biofi, no. Kebalan, the I'm Halis. Kebalan, the I'm Dole. The I'm influenced. I'm not Halis. Okay, you know what I mean? And how that I'm Halis I'm got to do with you're not doing what you're supposed to do and you're taken out of the party. You know what I mean? I mean, man, but it's one-sided story. I understand. How much MC why bio interesam la advocate for la propagate for. So I came to understand it was not about. Okay, you came to understand. Oh yeah, it was not about supporting Keba Lang's position or decision. It was a matter of a hidden agenda. Keba Madi. Keba Lang is my brother. Keba Madi. Exactly, Keba Madi. You know what I mean? So, let's not only support things because it serves our interest, it serves our agenda, but not because it's not right or wrong. That's hypocritical. That's dishonesty. Now, the comparison I gave was, okay, now with the UDP brouhaha, right? Okay, kigena namua, and then everything spiral. Kuneka am some opinion, kuneka the official kuneka for boka, kuneka for support, which is okay. Kuneka wanga muna support or whatever. But why was it not contained to get to where it got to? You understand? As opposed to the other people. So if we're doing comparison, if we're holding people to account, if we're holding readers to account, wherever they handle situations right, let's give it to them. Wherever they don't handle situations right, let's call them out. And nobody should have a problem with that. And that was my position, and that is my position. And we've all seen it play out. It played out, and we saw both of the parties, how they handled it. The same thing had happened in the past. But it was just a moment in a program, and then they had to go back internally and deal with it the way they think they could deal with it, or the best way they believe that that's the way they should deal with it. Is it the best or the long-term solution? Probably not. But we can do better. At the end of the day, Kuneka has a right to belong to associate, you understand? But we cannot condemn Bojang for one thing, and then we accept the same thing for Madi. That man, that is not right. It's the same issue. It has not changed, but our positions change because of the individuals or the personality. That you would fend do you buru some pudika. Thank you so much.
Talibo, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, Buba Abarakabaga. Yeah, coming namen for Mr. Jobarteh. Dajika faluni ita bondi nula kuni.
Are we going back to Dajiko?
I mom membe for jam. I bake mom membe for jam. I mul Dajiko for jam. Ala ñing ko mom be aya befo mo la daji ko lam so daji ko falew ñi wala be kala ayente male ate male ya understand ate fombe da men sante hana ala fan sum patio lo hein wo betata baake pour kaje ko ka ko ñi tan di mo la yeda bla arina ñing kono mbeta bawo bang gambia ñing mbola noma do en kol baake ka jande ka mo la ñanto kelele ka tar politiko fananke ka Halifa Sallah Sidia Jar ikalo mun la nyanto la gal kabri ya jamila wato andu ya political party e newspaper fanan soto madi lol fanan nu yalon ko londo be bulo kono ye banko la tanya long ye president yala tanya lo ye mansa kunda kamentu koma kamentu nyato yo belo ye dum politiko kono e bo dender nyamo kono ye nanan dum nga kacha afana da dum arna nyin kono
Taro mo be politician.
Ani no bari woto kana politiko kacha
na dolbe jol mo
woto kana politician la daji ko kacha
e buga kana kaja
ha kana kacha ni de dabula mo la ha kana kacha because ndel ke fana je nyame e fana man tilim bed
alkeja se politician
fana kejele ko e fana ka dulal le face à faire kono duma do ko to
yala statement no jele about UDP attack
ko hamni ngoje bari o kake wa molati
no wamme ko
ale mo kake wa molati de fana ni madi lo den ka madi la moyle madi la pol kake wa molati
okay go ahead
ya understand so mbem fola wala nyiti daji ka falumta bono ra nyim banko la ko kono pour banko ita nyato mo be collectively fo ngan daji ko le falen ni man daji ko le falen importantly billah wala titala 2016 parti jolle coalition ke kap ya jame bonde
okay sa ngana so
ari la modro
adresse la
yalo buba mbako baklim fole ni yaji be bake be be parti o men kono man sakundata mon ke dalo wala mon men be bija be ka dalo wala give me time nkili bija
okay no
ya on ça
bari yalo you know the constant jandi master
yes ha bari madro o constant dim ben duni la l'islam même bije wala nyinti madi ali nga fu modi daji ko fali politiko la koto ba dino la karola lumbang na adol la karola na seno la karonga dal falin
nyaton ko le badati
hani molle ke nyaton ko tombo molle ni nyaton ko ka do ko ke ya on ça so nim man daji ko falin hanni president ma daji ko fala kuma ndaw membe jana no ma daji ko falin o be ke no la nyaadi dole fana bo support kan dole fana bo support kan political parties fana the same thing ika fu men government waiting wol fana ni la kabru lom ko wol man tilinje
government in waiting.
So nyine mu koti mi alon ko akumbata baki.
Okay, let's move.
Yeah. So president wala diamo at the National Assembly. Aka même fo ay dol tu koma aman dol sene yandi. Anyway, harmadi una ko kuma nim fo dol bi je membe joyo duna. Ya understand. Na te dula do challenge mo do bi je wa support le fully. Ya understand. Nte diamo no la wala baki. On be ñoo xammo lonne mbe ñoo ngan ñoo lonne ñoo la karola. Ya understand. Ninteni madi te kili ku kili ala ku kendo le ben siwlo la kala ku kuru ndam mbola fala adun ko ni nyata nyame mode tula ku kuru ndam makela moka ku kendo kele ni ala ku kuru fo sa fa ay sala ku kendo fanam fo nyim fanam harama di yalati nyim fanam foro yalati ya understand ay fel de fage men ala ko ku mata bage ngol fanam fo ay mam men fanam fo ngol fanam fo ngaji be banko diwlu na men samba Bantaba to pour état na député bunko no état nyi ko jibe ngi bulay fana diam ngi lamoy
I don't follow positive.
Okay, saya ni mototo nsina parti la karola ntel la parti on te bolo fok.
Okay, bismillah.
Ntel la parti o nga dada nyame kutamalem ko National People's Party ninda sartolem nga melandi parti di kuna be ben discourage ka wolom nyinde ko mo killing yelo yafo ko na flole bentebul. Okay, sa hanni na flole bentebul ko no ba mol kay tilintela nim pareta balana unnecessarily nga singa balan moto kuno la because molem benna party dun advocate kam men wala nyinti ko not the passing men ko do be men bulu bar party yo la tamaram bulul banko dingul kan ani party dingul kan lafta wala emphasize la at the moment
bismillah
wala na nga letero safe na constitution because congress la sam o congress ni amange ka fo ko congress ni ne o man si ko te kete bono la jede ni ko ke me alon kan party wala sartol manta nyola ni korosi mbe safe la letero la ni nge safela letero la ngala dina faylo ko nga wato di la yen jabi ni man jabi mbe aksono tala nga letero safi afuta tema ima jabi andu me asamba je ya sayle ko ya receive nga wato kije mi yalon ko tul nyantan tul jabi le man jabi
7 days yeah
7 days o membe bulo ko no sayn tul malo bar parti membe bulo ko no won yolon wala mu duwati so na men jije wala mu nyindi ko nyini ali nga na palaso table folo kantu nkila audio moy nganna patiolo ma moy register AIC de bar fo bitala je malo son na pat na fong men be bulo kon ngo table folo ngay tamaram bulo jibe ni ta fong lafta reconciliation la you can come back for reconciliation asike no nga palaso dila o nga palaso ni ngadi modo la e ka pati membati so nga nyine je na kol kono so inka membe fo ka ta kana political party wo political party kana mo ke sama kumuti kana mo ke sama kunti aje ka fo ko ñi ne ñanta kala na patio molle be do ko la molle
okay
bare ni te ko ye keno la tante bulun kana fulu so dame imam pati la interest jibabe mun futandi kam molma patio la sarto e mo fana jibe pati don la sarto e mo jibe yeta bondi place oto mol me bondi place oto 15 ini men be do ko la wala ka fa nyoma ko ni aga nyinkata nyine mun na nyaton ko ta a telemam beteya ya nati patio la bunda bato pati bo ba la kiskisiroke ya je ko wala mu to nyaati ya ntandi la ka fo bo nyim place doto na nyim place doto
e la min jata la
yo handa ke la min jata
wala e kala
yala man ka kilina aman ka kilina ke ko ndala
tele sita jang ya fo bayo ko kana sala
ila mo
to tamana kan
muna nan ne to buka talibe to fo jang ma problème mo soto jang
naka lañ def to
muna ne man talibe to fo talibe to UDP la problème ko no muna ne man talibe to e joyo dunje
to nga do to fo la jang
jomal to fo
nga do to fo man do to
yo say fo defa nga mo to fo ko nga mo to fo ntelu membe mbulu kono wala nyindi ko na patio ba ke kan institution no melon ko tilim anin toja mota saba kunkumuzi yele mandla ka fo ko antena musembe tioti wala mtele minyato ngabbe exemple tala nyin ko wala kono pour pati dum be salon ka fo wala bije so aku mota ta na man sakundan to bijele mbita kan nga menno mbokela criticism mbo fanan talale bar modol be KMC ni atre ko mira ko men soto man sakunda bala iyo tamandi la KMC billahi harim bali to terla si bokan
MC go ahead
ha talibo ya fo jang last week ko ñin mol congress lay tombong moté bondi nola itale yo fo jang wo ci tale bang parce que say
letaro mante wotumo imal letaro jabi
bari ima jabi hanin tabi bari ye bondi le
ngatilo même foy wala tambita wala nga decision ta fo mo foy
no comment timeline ite ko
hani ngo
yele taro sa
man ko
ye batu
congress le tombong la wonya la moy de
bo bala ma nga vie aram ta gënal ma lu talibo wo
congress le sini te bondi no la wonya
ma wonya ko de ma wo fo de aha mba
MC go ahead MC go ahead
buba président bi ci assemblée bi speaker bi dama ci wax lu bari parce que time ba ngay dem
ga ñu ne time jenn
tangal maalo rek la nekk lu bees
tangal
maalo
su panda bena cin da duma da
waaw foog naa waaw so xam naa mbaxal la so foog naa idée boobu duma solo bari because lu ma gën a bëgg a wax mooy si affaire yi political parties yi
go ahead
bu nga xam ne nee ne am na lu mu wax si affaire yi Keba Madi dafa nekk lu nga xam ne as an opposition soo gisee ko xam ne mu ngi nekk si nguur ruling party mu am issues loolu problème ni Gambie opéré ni Afrique fu nekk la mun ngaa nekk si biir parti mu am problème yow doo ko musaa wax am na ñoo xam ne ni nga àndoon na Yaaya Jammeh di tàccu fecca moom bu Yaaya Jammeh bu gaa amee problème Yaaya Jammeh leen doon di wax wala bu nekk système bi duñu wax so Keba mun naa nekk si NPP ñu am issues am lu ko naxari ba tey dafa nekk soo nekk si government nga nekk si ruling party no matter nu munti métti da nga dee noppi da nga dee xalaat ne FID mu nga am opportunité bu ees ba ñun as oppositions suñu gisee ko xam ne jógee na si ruling party ñëw bugg a génn fa ñun dañ ko war a welcome because loolu mooy tax loolu mooy wàññi nguur because for exemple joxe naa ko fi exemple
waaye MC loolu
soo xoolee
loolu jubu leen
wala da ngaa dégg da ngeen maa alaw rek man ma analyse politique yi politique la ñu wax
go ahead
moom wax na mu ne Keba gars yi balaa gars yi di bàyyi tuuma nooy si bari woon na trop si media bi wala after buñ daaxee gars yi kenn waxul gars yi wax neen standard newspaper front page Lamin Jatta wax na standard ne ñoom daaxa bi is normal because joxuñ leen responsibility defuñ dara so seen daaxa bi ñoom they are still go ahead with their political party to form their political party Lamin Jatta wax na ko front page standard
yes
wax na ko so understand nga ñoom wax neen jël na interview bi standard so dama gëm ne tey su nekkee ne yaa ngi si government loolu fu nekk la am soo nekk si système bi pour nga benn ñooy Gambians benn o du Gambien la Africain benn sax mooy génne ne waa man léegi génne naa ñaata officers nga gis ñu resign si government ñaata nga gis si ñu resign si government and all the mess bu am sax dañ fa am pour nekkaa ñoom ñu mu yaaxu ñu nekk fa di ko defend
interesting
it's happening both the political party and even the government fu nekk la am even the opposition parties so tey moom génn na ñoom ñun as oppositions tey ko xam ne mu ngi si government bi nekk ay ruling party nekk di national youth president of a political ruling party dafa am influence am na doole soo gën jox ko position boobu so kooku tey su nekkee tey dafa génn with a break away la mu am ñu àndal mu bëgg a form a political party ñun as opposition ñun loolu dañ ko war a celebrate wax naa ko fi exemple soo xoolee Yaya Jammeh di Dakar 2016 bu Mama Kandeh génnee MC Thiam génne ñëpp génne dañu form politique GDC lan moo daanal Yaya Jammeh bu ko 22 years doo gis kenn ku jógee APRC ñëw si opposition bi nekkoon na kapet bor bu Mama Kandeh ñëwee people are living Yaya Jammeh ñëw di bokk GDC so ni nga bu di wàññi because tey ñoom ñii tey ñan la ngay di jël si NPP la ngay di jël ay nit because yaa ngi gis mobilisation bi you see there are pictures there are videos ñan la ngay di reach out si ñan la ngay dem ni ngay dem si NPP la ngay dem base la ngay di wax ak ñoom so mun loo daaneel government fekk amuloo ñu fa génne ñoom ñooy bu di wàññi gars yi soo xoolee Mama Kandeh fan la gën a wi fan la gën a wigee Yaya Jammeh strong hold base Yaya Jammeh la Yaya Jammeh lañ jël muy Jokaadu muy Ñaamina muy area yëpp dañ ko jël and Jokaadu was no go area not bang foofu yëpp la jiiri si 2016 ñu am within 6 months we have 89,000 votes opposition bi 8 political party ak independent candidate benn ñu ñëw together ñu roye Yaya Jammeh only 18,000 small margin la gaa roye Yaya Jammeh with all the noise bu am so kon tey nu suñu gisee tey ko xam ne ñëw na tey lu nga def mooy ñun dañ ko wel ko man dama ko wel ko ne dégg dama gën a encourage ñu form political party because they will go after NPP people
okay.
Because tey lu laa góob
yu nekk UDP yu nekk
so léegi su ñëwee
naka la tuddee jàmbañ kii jàmbur dañ ñëw si baro
so léegi
because Keba is out
UDP nga
yes no gars yi UDP you knows them
so loolu jël bi xamu ko sax understand nga loolu kenn gisu ko
amaalo
so loolu kenn xamu ko so kenn benn image génnut kenn taxaw mu ne man bokkoon naa UDP because Keba génne na dem naa gisuñ loolu so lu mu gis la ñu wax so lu mu gis la ñu wax waaw man gisuma loolu ben journaliste amul benn breaking news bu am
loolu but still we just Keba boobu noonu now if you look at the bigger picture Keba dafa génn mu form political party every other political party the UDP the DOI the GDC everybody is doing solo whatever they're doing if you still look at how does that help understand nga in ousting Barrow how does it help
It's reducing Barrow's people.
What if no. Why no? You didn't give Barrow people because imagine a same base West Coast Villa. The West Coast be UDP they have a huge base. Okay. Understand? They have a huge base. So listen, if you're looking at statistics and numbers, let's look at it holistically. It's not going to take from Barrow.
Nee na you're on agenda with those boys. Make Keba because
No. Take that back.
you have motive behind.
Agenda because
da nga am dama gëm ne
I do not know these people from Adam musuma
man bëgguma gars yi dañ ñëw sama politique ba dama lu wax dama ne ñun man bëgguma gars yi ñëw UDP dama bëgg gars yi taxaw seen boppa bu ko xam naa suñu taxaw seen boppa ban njëriñ la am si opposition bi loolu laa gëm joxe naa fi exemple Keba tey fu mu jël du jël fenn from UDP or GDC or fenn fu mu dem fa la mu jël dafa go after man nekkoon naa man xam nga yàlla dafa ma dimbale bokk naa ñu form political party 2016 buñ teg suñu target was to go after Yaya Jammeh ñun bi ñu suñu all target 2016 was to go to APRC supporters
different political climate
dama la exemple da nga alaaw taale booy wax man dama la bàyyi with due respect dama la bàyyi nga wax so ñu suñu target was 2016 and 2015 mooy we go after APRC best ñu la war a jël ici leen an bi dañ ko def mu woo tey soo xoolee for exemple ban UDP supporter mooy dem ànd ak Keba du ko def Keba is go after UDP NPP base pour jëli gars yi ñëw ici leen because dafa am issue bu ama ñoom seen diggante ñoom
that's what you think
loolu mooy digga su nekkee ne soo foogee ne seen base only Keba is national youth president of NPP it's not only West Coast youth president nationwide la from Banjul to Koyna Keba monsieur so Keba non talibu alaw ma wax alaw ma même da nga
MC just Daniel ñu
the youth president of a party national youth president all the regional youth mobilized or president si ronam leen nekk
national campaign manager of UDP.
dafa ñëw so kooku dafa dem all out national mobilizer of UDP from party dafa dem cause capé dem join kii parti la from du benn kii parti la from
okay
is not benn
okay
understand
all right
so léegi su ñëwee léegi si
formul ko sax
non am bay bondi time bantale please
su nekkee def ko confirm ne ñoom they go ahead with from their political party man as MC Cham welcome naa loolu parce que gëm naa ne suñ ko defee dafaa nekk njëriñu opposition bi
okay
suñ ko defee ba ñu gëm ko because then you go after the MP because right now there is a problem because problem bu fa nekk mooy di leen expect from the party so ñoom léegi seen teget léegi dafay def all so su ñëwee si UDP parti moo nekk xam nga political party il faut comme Madi lu wax am na fa ma dama ànd ak moom parti dafa war a nekk a project dama gëm loolu and parti Afrique yëpp am problème bi it's not only Gambia tey when the leadership is out parti bu dafa struggle happen na Ablaye Wade happen na Jawara happen na Macky Sall happen na Yaya Jammeh understand nga and loolu mu ngi continuer di repeat and loolu lañ ko war a bàyyi xel da nga war a gëm ne kii su fa nekku keneen war naa mën a yóbbu parti il faut ñu am proper reforms si political parties loolu mooy digga bon lu xew si UDP is an internal democracy for the first time laa mën a wax bu nga xam ne tey ñëpp yëngatu am na ku nekk fil na nga ne am na xam ne ma si xam ne gaa ngi ko si media bi nanguwuma ko ay kii nekku ci parti bi wata wax opinion wata xalaatam si réew bi déedéet flag bearer bi kan lañ ko war a jaay Gambie si lañ koo jaay soo kenn ku nekk am nga see ku kay foog ne soo ko wut sax bu am nga sa voters card dina la respect si loolu wala waa léegi nen sànni baro ñëpp naka ñëpp sona
ila parti yow too fo si la noonu
loolu kenn war ko di wax si political party because political elections demuloo pour participer ret da nga dem pour win elections nekkoo da nga dem pour participer da nga dem taxaw naa ret taxawal naa Madi taxaw mu am ñàkk de loolu da nga dem pour win because election dafa métti dafa cher and président Barrow ku war a taxaw moom right now nga war a face président Barrow da nga war a put sa house in order because soo bàyyi xel Jammeh ñu ko doon fight noonu nekk only Gambians rek ba even businessman si bokka because Jammeh daf doon interfere si mbiri business daf laa oo ma ne la lii dafa am pour wàññeeku foreign exchange bi yokku na te dafa am wàññeeku njël poli eble si troog yóbbu leen loolu xamul na fi waaye président Barrow sonolu kenn businessman ne amul kenn ko xam ne am nga problème so kon kooku soo waddee damaa moom il faut nga pour saxaw si order because businessman ne bi Barrow is mun leen bàyyi ñu ngi free te everyday bagage yaa ngay yokku Barrow du si wax lu nekk lu xepp du si wax du si comment so ñoom they are very comfortable with Barrow dan ifin Yaya Jammeh
ay del fanaan KMC wala mu di
so understand
KMC bi
so kon tey kooku tey sooy fisa moom soo ko defee fisa kooku sooy fisa kooku il faut nga put sa house in order parce que ñu bàyyi di wax ne na ñëpp sona tey ñëpp duñ sona de réew nekku ñu am na ñu bàyyi sona de yàlla dafa am ñu bëri ñuy sona am ñu bëri duñ sona peut être yow political party bi yow yaay gën a sona because yow yaay dem elections yaay finance mbedda bi yaay fay yaay dugal xaalis yaay def lu nekk yaay campagne mobilise ay wax ay nit mun loo xas Madi Jobarteh ëllëg nga boo Madi sànni la carte mun a nekk mun loo saaga booy la nga foog nga bëgg a booy ñëw sànni la carte mun a nekk il faut ñu convince Gambians si wax ak Gambians si because 2026 xam nga lu fi nekk it's a political risk for all political party all the political party
governor
because tey MPP su la lose elections si is over for them UDP su lose election bi the same thing la because after president election si 3 months time yaa ngi national assembly election ngay dem after 3 months time bi next month on April yaa ngi dem council elections mais yaa ngi dem mayor elections su nekkee opposition bi yow tey winu loo tey na nga amee ressource bu nga amee xaalis bu dem campagne loolu so kon tey political party yi war a bàyyi xel election bi.
Okay, thank you so much MC, thank you so much. Ablaye go ahead.
Made the Gambian or Danila.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Yes, I want to make this clear.
Okay.
Me saying the issue of second-hand business is a business topic of its own.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I say it. Yeah. And if the time permits, in some other episodes we will discuss that.
The next program.
But there is no innovation when you are going to things that people already have left. You are going back to scavenge. Okay. It doesn't work. Okay. That's the position. Okay, but I beg Gambians to not focus on any other thing but to focus on the Gambia. MC Numnekadiwa, man, you know, I could be very blunt and brutal with even my political party.
Oh, please do, darling.
But I want Gambians to understand, new vote, Mr. Dabo cannot solve the problem of this country. Barrow cannot solve the problem of this country. Yankuba Dabo, Mr. Bojang, Uncle Madi, no. It is Gambians that can solve the problem of this country. And as such, we should come together. We should get united and face a common problem, which is the stagnation of this country. People with no ideas and so on. No, we have to move past this stagnation. You know, and for us to move past this stagnation, it doesn't have to be personality. It has to be Gambia. Nga Gambia je. Mbenga kafunyoka po Gambia ta. Nyanda ka politician la moy men la o nyanda ka bendi am nga moy wolem ila policy ni programme. Amanje ko me nyimu nyeti. Ba ko kini fala be Gambia de. Gambia would continue to be a kleptocracy, a mafia state, and an oligarchy if our party financing is not clear. You want to deal in brand new cars. Who is going to buy brand new cars in the Gambia if you bring them, if not the government and corporations? So you have an interest in the politics of this country because you're hanging your business. Linga asibu wadukumun agenda. It's the government. Therefore, any government that is favorable, you're for While any candidate is going to give a blind eye for them. So Gambians should begin to think and forget about Buba, Ablai, or the no. Gambia is suffering and we need to rescue Gambia. Gambia is still so we have to rescue Gambia. So this distraction, no, it's not important. Let's focus on how do we save this country.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. Being a new Danny Water. Nying no. Nimbeke na kilinti do.
But Ablai, do we have that how? We focus on the how. Is the how available? Is the how known?
Because of time.
What is the how? How about if people don't know the how? How can we focus on the how?
Okay, now we can have a special program of what we should look at. What are the parameters? We can have one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But other than that, the Mol Danila, you know, it's a very critical moment. And Talibo is laughing. Talibo, honestly, we want Babo to go out. We want Babo to sit down.
All right.
Because he was almost liking you. I like that you finish it that way.
No. We want Babo to sit down. And then
Well, Barrow should go out.
Barrow should sit down.
Not right long like a politician.
This is it.
So, unnecessary to repeat. Because I hear people say, I'm a politician. That's my right, like every other citizen. But the reason why Baronyan Tatala, for the good of our democracy and our country, the 3 years agreement they make as the coalition to prevent self-perpetuation. So personally, what I believe is that Momanya president beyond 10 years. And Barrow by 2026, I 10 years savle. That is secondary to me. I just step down and we move. So that what to say finally, coming in Kachabembe thinking thing, I think the how. That's why I'm going to pay for bundle the how. Party financing for. All right. And then all these things, member can the political party economy, all right, and institutions. Okay. And so the rest of the country, I agree with him, in a stagnation. And yes, government is building infrastructure, roads, Silo local, school, Karambumbe local, for now, Fana, me alonko, yes, ikumatale, Bankola Yiriwato, Fonga Silo law, Fonga Karambun law, Bunda law. But Prudna Banko Yiriwani, I saw Banko ta nyato, about stagnation, third lorin to la killing, and color member caring, and everything else. Men mentakela wolam the governance, kajiko kulmel boko transparency, accountability, effectiveness and efficiency. Ñin tun kun nanol ni Mr. Barrow lafta Gambia sambala nyato. Ay legacy bula me alon ko abe kala legacy bambandewti. Ni member advice la. Iba fly ko it is not the roads Melkumata or the school. Okay. Because we need depends on bijabe lola ne. Tax, loans, grants. Hani Somalia melbe work on it. Nitara wala infrastructure you find is bigger than Gambia. Okay. Because the money is there. So that is not the issue. The important point the how nyafo nyame is the thing. How many banko yiriwandi la nyame is na sila nani muta. Effectiveness. The administration of the state, constitutional for Kaidam, the administration of the state, let the state be effective. All right. I don't need ila silokanjang pipe theater. A call, for example. Will they come in 30 minutes or in 1 hour or in 2 days?
2 months.
That is effectiveness. The ability coming yetari lori nyala mananko is ikutute nole. Effective. Now, that is the first pillar. Then there's efficiency. That kumealonko, in singing kenole montro wati lulu kono. But ni efficient esake montro wati fula kono. But in 5 hours, you are effective. Because you can isake in 5 hours. That's effectiveness. Efficiency is isake no nyarile in 2 hours, in fact, with less resources. Yeah. So, Nagamba government ni baro lafta legacy bulala, bankoe yiriwa, bankoe falling, wokumata. Then transparency and accountability. Kole lankena. Yeah, understand. Right, yeah. So, simple thing for this Spain thing, contract share. The Access to Information Act, Section 7, it's about proactive disclosure. All right. Then Contiboro. Contiboro, Fana. Mole dokoke. Ni moment kata dokola somanda 4 o'clock IG. What have you produced? Yet $12 million vehicle the minister. Well, minister output money at the end of the month. The permanent secretary. Not to mention how ye bankola na flow topoto nyadile. And so on and so forth. So government ye diki baro diki work until as citizens finally nyim 4 pillars nyol ye law work yol cross.
Okay.
All
right.
Effectiveness, efficiency, transparency, and accountability.
Right. Thank you so much.
Gambia falling in the next 5 years.
APS learning program of us
I love me some money.
And of course, care finder. Ngetindu keje baki alta APS abo download science and tenting also credit in cash power based samnoning abo to hanatra suto dugalalem. Well, there is no charges. It all charge la fenna. Al kasoto nyameng nawek wa dila la wala nyama. Wala tine itole mu nyontangol ti Gambia banko kanjang. Also kodo kino kabo Gambia banko kanjang. Itole fananta sonia ata bake nibe APS use kang. Bayring jandi nying karobe 3 times aba sotola. APS ye client kuta nati APS la kodo ki wili sabo min kata o $100 $1,500 ibe wole dile la free of charge. Also kodo kino al badi ngole milbe kiang milbe badibo milbe base through APS la hanatra be Gambia banko kanne imantra diaspora woto mobeta nga APS la abo download science and tenting ker finder le ka korda wafo ke Gambia banko kanjang milia lon ko mulati la bakale korda so dula belto Gambia jang korda lorim bandingol be bulle kene kensengol fanam be bulle milia lon ko ika wafi bari natara ite fon kene kensengo be te bulu isa lono yele wato la miyalon ko tela fta walla korda lorim bandingol be bulle fana miyalon ko bita sanna le chabo dila awto mbafla mobe ko ala barka bake albe ker fatu no makandon aninde grand Bantaba arjumana la ni ala kirtala be murana lenne janni wo bye bye.
CareFinder is a real estate company that focuses on property development within the Gambia. We pride ourselves with providing not just quality and durable houses, but also state-of-the-art designs tailored to our clients' tastes and expectations. Our unique experience and expertise is second to none in the industry. We are currently building and selling 3-bedroom bungalows at Sukuta Traffic Lights and Jabang. We're also building and selling 3-bedroom story buildings at Sukuta Paradise. Other sites are also in the pipeline. With CareFinder, payment options are available. With just 40% deposit, you can get your house started. For more information, contact us on 329-5188, 727-0049, 709-8418. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at CareFinder. With CareFinder, you are assured of a secure investment.
Nyatimbo ntemu APS leti. Ndemu APS leti. APS Gambia lemu APS ti. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyati mwete kufuri mbala kentala di. Ke nyati mbonda di taba futu wola. At least iti ya fonte ko APS minkullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyati mbo. Yo mi fo enda sija. Ndanga moyro ko APS wallet isa kodo kino. Min tata fo wuli muang ime charge fenna wala nta sindija.
Ako. Nyati mbo. Nko yiko kabo transuto. Katawula fo wuli muang. Ite fenne dola. Womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la kasele sal eke tamuna eke charge mun fa abuka fensi 1% da malam bati
wota yara gamen no be nyanta wala kana APS wala tele mobile ko roko ka ko do ki ibadi ngol
ya jele ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari min kum mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat ni suto be during suto be dibining abe tema biti ko sononda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko 24 ndi nawek
ha
ni oto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas power isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
wata mbade ngameno albe sito wulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela lam baylo kon APS wallet nyaata doro bari koto nim fata do suko kon to
dañu defo no le mol ñaala jam nim fata do suko kon ba fole
ba siti je mbita ndori gi sajede katu sa APS 100% namunti
APS 100% Gambia 100%.